What is going on, everyone? Good evening. Welcome to my second stream of my return to live reacting here on DSPReacts. How is everyone this evening? I hope I find you well. We're going to be building up attendance for like 20 minutes. If you're watching this as an on-demand video on the channel, feel free to scoot ahead like 20 minutes or so. But I'm going to start with the actual meat of the stream around 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, which is 20 minutes from now. And we're going to be going for around 2 hours. So, what's up, everybody? Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What I'd like to do is to get you all kind of caught up on how things are going with this departure for me, because as you know, I haven't been doing a lot of this kind of content as of late. Last year, almost year and a half, I've been focusing almost solely on gameplay over on my DSP gaming channel. Honestly, I had a good time doing this last week when we did the first premiere stream, which was the first hour of the Joon the King documentary about the quartering, going through his early history and all of that. I actually found it, interesting. I didn't know anything about Jeremy in that regard at all, and so to go through that was a good kind of groundwork, right? Tonight, we're going to go through another hour or so of it, where we're going to go when he actually became the quartering on YouTube and his content and all of that. Obviously, I feel like that's going to be a lot more meaningful to what's going on today than what we did last time. But the thing is, you kind of have to go through that, right, before you can get to the meat of the stuff which we're going to hit upon tonight. Last week, a lot of you showed up, a lot of you engaged, and heck, a lot of you supported the stream. So I said, hey, as long as that continues, I'm willing to do this kind of variety content, okay? I'm not going to do it all the time. I'm going to do it when it's pertinent, and this is a unique situation. If you were here last time, you know why. I'm kind of right in the middle of the whole situation here with a lot of things going on. And I think it was good. I enjoyed doing it. Now, I'll be honest, there was one disappointment, and that was that I actually had my editor work on a abridged version, because the last stream, if you don't know, was about 2.5 hours long, out of which around 2 solid hours was reacting to the documentary. However, it was really long. And it was a lot of time of me just watching, and you want to hear my comments. You don't want to necessarily just hear me watching the documentary. So I had my editor cut it down to around 45 minutes, adding in added clips and things that actually added supplemental content to it that I thought made it really good. It didn't do well. In fact, it didn't even do nearly as well as the stream. Usually if I do a raw live stream and has a lot of content in it, it's kind of bloated, and the stream won't do so well over time when it comes to views or whatever. But if I do a highlight that I break out of said stream, usually that highlight will do really well. This has actually been happening over on my DSP gaming channel over the last month to month and a half. We've been highlighting news stories off of my podcast or moments of gameplay that stood out, and the highlights have done really well. But in this case, it didn't. The stream itself from part 1, I believe, has like maybe just under 3,000 views. The highlight has like 1,500. Okay, so to be honest, I just don't think it's worth it to have the highlights be made. This is not me having unlimited time to edit them. It's me paying someone to do it, and it just didn't really turn out well. All right, not the product. I'm just saying the response to the product. So FYI, probably not going to be highlights of this one. This one, I'll just leave the raw stream on the channel. So if you're watching this on demand, thank you for watching it. I appreciate that. The last stream did get good engagement, like had good amount of likes, good amount of comments. Everyone seemed to enjoy the raw content, but not really the edited version. Therefore, we'll just leave the raw stream up tonight, okay? Now, once again, if this is the kind of variety content you guys want to see, please let me know, whether it's interacting with me in the chat, whether it's liking this stream if you're watching it live, if it's liking the video after the fact when it becomes an on-demand video on demand, leaving comments to let me know if you liked it, if you didn't like it, etc. And of course, support tonight would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Anything, on YouTube side, that you can do a super chat, a super sticker, a membership, or a gifted membership. On the Kick side, you can send some kicks my way. You can become a sub. You can give some subs. You can send me a tip via PayPal. All of that, greatly, greatly appreciated. The last stream was well supported, and that's why I committed to doing a second one. So here we are. If tonight we get good engagement and support, I will commit to doing another one of these in 2 nights around Tuesday night, where we'll continue on. In fact, if it goes well all week, I'll do the whole documentary every other night, basically. We'll do Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, okay? So there you go. All right, I think we should actually do some shout-outs because we have some early contributions that have come in here. Katarina Ann gifted a sub over on Kick, and that's our first sub of the night. Okay. Very good. So let's get that on the leaderboard. Thank you, Katarina, for the first sub of the night. I appreciate that very, very much. We have a super chat from Oh No Not Him Again. It's a $10 super chat. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. And he says, wondering, do you have an email for fan art or art as a trainer? It's you as a trainer with the 6 Pokemon that you fought the Elite Four with. Awesome. I would love that. You can... Okay, there's a catch. I have a public email, but the public email has been around for so long that it literally instituted filters that I didn't even know how to turn on or off. So if you send me an email with an attachment without letting me know, it's probably going to hit my spam folder. What you can do is email me at darksidephil@hotmail.com without any attachment, or you can actually DM me on X, which is @TheyCallMeDSP. Either way, if we get a dialogue, I'll say, okay, now I can get you approved, and then you could send me some fan art. I would love to have that picture from my Pokemon stream earlier today. Thank you so much, Oh No Not Him Again. That's very nice of you. We've got, let's see here, a tip. I believe we have our first tip of the night. A very generous $25 tip from Guitar Player. Thank you, Guitar Player, for $25. Let's go ahead and play an animation for that before we see what Guitar Player had to say. Very good. Oops. I had it right and then I screwed it up. Here we go. Okay, so Guitar Player says, I'm glad to see you return to reacting, and I want to say publicly that PPP calling Jeremy fat is ironic. I don't know that he's done that. I'm sure he has. I mean, he calls everyone fat, including me. But yeah, like, I don't know really what he's done or what he hasn't done, but I'm certainly not surprised to hear that. Let's put it that way, okay? Thank you, Skyjogger. Looks like Skyjogger just did a super chat. Hold on, I want to move that pop-up. Let's move that down here. Oh, yeah, now you can read it better, right? It was harder to read up there. But you know what? That might screw it up on the other screen now. Ah, shucks. Maybe if I do... Hold on. Maybe if I do it this way. Hold on. If I do it this... Maybe I'll put it over here. We'll see if that looks better. Okay. Skyjogger, thank you for $5. He says, I'm not a fan of this content. I'm a fan more of your gaming stuff because I know you're branching out and that's okay. Listen, it's cool. Again, first of all, thank you for coming by and supporting the content. I appreciate that. It's not for everyone. It's like I said. There's a couple things going on. Number one is... This is a unique situation where people for weeks were asking for my opinion. When I gave it, it actually did numbers and people liked the video I put out on it. And so now when this documentary dropped, it's just a unique situation to do variety content. Okay, that's number one. I actually have some history with these people. I've been an 18-year person in the same space that this is going on in. I think I have some stuff to add. So that's first. Secondly, as I get older, all right, I'm not going to be able to be a full-time gamer anymore. Just being real, you know, as I get older... When I get 50, 60 years old, I don't think people are going to care too much about DSP playing a certain video game or whatever. You know what I mean? But for me to be able to add my opinions on certain situations, you know, talk about certain topics, react to well-researched documentaries, etc., I think that's the kind of content that can actually grow once basically the gameplay stuff is going to slow down a bit, because admittedly it will. Now, by the way, I'm not saying that I'm not going to be a gamer forever. I want to be. Right? But I'm also a realist. I'm not stupid. I'm not living in the clouds. And I understand that as I get older, my cognitive abilities, my hand-eye coordination will wane. I'll probably get some arthritis. I already have some in my right hand a little bit. So there's not much I can really do about that, right? You just got to accept it. Got to do other kinds of stuff. This is one of the things that I think I can do. I don't even know. That's disgusting. Someone did 500 kicks and their name is so gross. I'm just going to say, gross person did 500 kicks. Thanks. That's about as far as you're getting. Okay. Oops. I don't think we're at 500. Not quite yet. Maybe we will hit that tonight, but not quite yet. Let's see here. I received a $1.50 tip. It's a troll. So, all right, go to hell. Cool. And we've got Trials 95 with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you for doing this. I love the reaction content. It's my favorite. I always try to catch you live if not working. I can't wait to see you play GTA 6. Well, Trials, first of all, thank you. And listen, I know that I actually do have a fan base for reacting because I did a react show for 2 years called DSP versus the Internet. You can find the archives of that show on this channel. I never hid the streams or anything. They're all live here, and you can watch them on demand. It's just that, when you do something so regularly, it can tend to dry up with, interest. And that's exactly what happened. At first, the show was very popular, then it waned, and then by the time after 2 years is the end, almost no one showed up for it. So, you got to move with the times. You got to do stuff that's popular, and right now, this is the hot topic. So you got to do... Oh, Stepdad, thank you so much. I think it's time for a frog flex. What do you guys think? Me and Frog, pose off. There you go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Very nice. Thank you, Stepdad, for the gifted sub, and thank you, Frog, for the pose off. I always appreciate those. Those are fun. Very nice. Okay. Very good. All right, we're going to hang out for like 10 more minutes to try to, raise attendance, and then we're going to get started. Very good. Alrighty, hold on one second. Let's see. There we go. There we go. There, I had to click on that. There we go. Good to see you, Cypress. Did I ever have a profile pic of wearing a Sonic hat? 100 years ago, yes. Again, I wore it last time. I am most definitely not going to be wearing this hat every time that we do this, but it's just hilarious that the Quartering and I have exactly the same Sonic hat. Like, I mean, what the hell? What were the chances, right? I guess we both pre-ordered the game via GameStop ages ago. Because there it is, right? Okay. Trials did another $2 super chat asking, when you play GTA 6, will you keep the music on? Here's the thing. I don't mind keeping the music on, but it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with it. Tons of people are going to want to play and stream the game and make money on it. This is not, like it used to be where some people did. Now there's so many people, streaming these games. Did they include some kind of a streamer mode to make sure that you could do that and not have problems or not? Like, I'd be okay leaving the music on, but what's going to happen? Is it going to completely demonetize the playthrough? Is it going to make me mute videos? Is it going to make me have videos blocked? Because that's what happened with my previous GTA playthroughs. Even GTA 5 from, 13 years ago? Even that, like, parts are, like, missing. And you can't watch the whole thing because of the music that I left in it, It sucks. It's a really crappy situation when they use licensed music, and it means that you can't share the legit experience with the audience. There have been times where I bit the bullet and says, I'll just do it. And then it's so much problem after the fact. What I could do is I could do like the premiere stream, let it ride and see what happens. Usually these days, YouTube gives you the option to erase the song. In which case, if the video is getting blocked or having issues, I can say erase song, and hopefully the video is still watchable. And that's something that didn't exist back in the day. Like, that's something from the last several years that's been added to YouTube. Erase the song, still have the video visible. So all I can say is, I don't know yet. We'll have to learn more about the game and see how it works. Maybe they will include a streamer mode just for that the case. I don't know. And I guess we'll have to go from there and see what the hell happens. I really don't even know what else to say. I can't really answer the question, being that it's kind of an unknown factor right now what's going to happen with that game. Meese34, thank you for a $5 super chat, Meese. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, thank you. All right. So let me ask everyone an honest question, okay? What did you think about part 1 last week? And what did you think about the edited version? Because I thought the edited version was going to do numbers. I did. I thought like it would, maybe hopefully hit the algorithm. And I wasn't expecting tons. I thought maybe a few thousand. But the fact that it's been live since Friday morning, and here it is Sunday night, and it's only gotten like 1,500 views is like, wow. Maybe this channel is just too hard to get it to hit the algorithm. Recently I've had some limited success getting DSP Gaming to hit the algorithm and getting my videos viewed by people outside of the core audience that are there regardless. That's a good thing. But man, I was like disappointed to say the least. Let's see here. You enjoyed the Raw stream better, says Cypress. Really? Good evening, Data Checker. Mr. Magoo's Eye Doctor says, I enjoyed the stream last week. Getting your unique take with your experience is good. That's cool. Uniqueness, no, see, that's the Raw stream. He says right now it's at 2,800 views. That's the Raw stream. The Raw stream is at 200,800 views, and that's including over 1,000 views we got live, and then residual views over the last, 3 nights. So, it just did so much better than the edited video. I see some people are bringing up mixtape. I already did. I guess you guys don't watch my stuff over on DSP Gaming. We already talked about mixtape on today's podcast, and guess what? There is already a brand new video about it on the channel. It's the new highlighted video that I literally just uploaded, okay? And I hope you'll give it a look. In fact, right now, I should probably make it... I did make it the featured video. Oh, cool. I already did that. But I should probably do a quick post about it so people know that that's live. If you're not aware... This game Mixtape is very, very polarizing right now. Tons of people are ripping this a new butthole, this game. I talked about it this morning on the podcast. So I'm actually just going to do this. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to do this. I'm just posting it basically on both of my pages so people can give it a look. There we go. Okay. We'll see how that video does as well. It's crazy. I got a lot going on, man. I really do. I got a ton going on between the gameplay, between these new highlight videos that I'm putting out, this new React project. There's a lot going on right now, which is a good thing. I'd much rather have a lot going on than a little, Thank you, Suku86. For 500 kicks. I appreciate that. Did it play the Shoryuken sound effect? I didn't hear it. I'm actually going to get you on the leaderboard now, since you have a normal name and you're a normal person, unlike that weirdo earlier. Cool. Did it play the sound effect? I didn't hear it, but I did have the music on, too. I'm going to turn the music off for when we do the react, so... Rebecca Zold, to give you perspective here, some people, Rebecca Zold says, why don't you do shorts instead of these highlights? Number one, shorts don't really benefit a channel. I've already explained this before from someone who used them for over a year. I had people making shorts for me. What shorts do is they bring people to the shorts feed. Then when they watch those shorts, it plays more of your shorts, and then it just goes to other shorts. People who usually see a YouTube short don't then go to the channel and watch the raw footage there, which is my main content. If all I was making was shorts, then making shorts would benefit me. Does that make sense? People who watch shorts are looking for short, digestible videos. They're not looking for gameplay. They're not looking for podcasting. So why would I make a short that's just going to lead them to a channel that doesn't have the content that they're seeking? So I made YouTube shorts for over a year. Literally none of them helped the channel at all. The only thing I could say is at least it wasn't a total waste of time. Reason being, I use those shorts now as part of my highlights reel that I'll play when I take breaks and stuff. So it does have some use. It wasn't like, oh, I wasted all that time doing it. But man, it really didn't help the channel whatsoever with all the effort that went into them. And that's disappointing. Stepdad, thank you for a second gifted sub here tonight. It looks like Stepdad re-gifted a sub to Mad TV, who I guess his sub had expired. All right, it's about time to begin, everybody. One more minute here, and we're actually going to start with the react, okay? So let's actually get set up for it. Let's get everything set up for it. Here we go, everybody. Scoot this monitor over. So remember, even though I am going to be reacting to a documentary, I'm still going to be chatting with all of you. I'm still going to be doing live shout-outs for all of your support during tonight's stream. Okay, I appreciate it very much. And again, if this stream does well tonight, we will continue. We will do this again on Tuesday night. And again on Thursday night will probably be the conclusion based on the pacing here. Okay? Perfect timing. Here we go. We're going to get about 2 hours of in. Let's get started, everybody. So, to recap what happened last time, if you did not see the first stream or you wanted just a quick refresher, the entire first hour of the Joon the King documentary about the quartering is before he was the quartering. It's all his backstory of him going to school and him starting these businesses, selling some of them off, using that to go into a different business. I mean, this guy has done a ton of different things over the course of his early days as a YouTuber, including computer tech work, a channel about social networking for gamers, RC cars, Magic the Gathering, unpackings and coverage, and more. But what happened was, at the end of all of this, which was around 2016, so about 10 years ago, what Jeremy realized is that the way that he was getting the most engagement and interaction and attention on himself on the internet was by being an asshole. I mean, there's really no other way to state it. He's acting like an asshole to people. He's causing drama and problems, getting into arguments, and all of a sudden, the attention of the internet is on him. And he's like, oh, so doing this kind of like attention farming is getting people to watch. So why don't I continue with this kind of attention, right? And he did, like, if you could see, he actually went from being a guy that was focused mostly on Magic the Gathering to instead doing content that was more like culture wars and stuff like that. And that's actually where we're beginning tonight. This is exactly where we had frozen this last week, was on this still frame. Okay? So all I'm going to do is read this. I have no idea what this is. Okay? So apparently this is literally what's going on live in his studio or whatever. This camera is reading this. Thank you for your purchase. Sargon of Akkad, if that's how you say it. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. Would like to personally thank you for your purchase of one vial of his ahem. What's funny is that vial is spelled wrong and the ahem is spelled wrong. Each batch is handmade and adheres to the strictest possible quality guidelines. We hope you enjoy your ahem and have a wonderful day. Don't forget you can gift your Sargon of Akkad ahem to friends and family. It makes great a stocking stuffer. I think this is a joke, is it not? Like, this isn't real. Was this some kind of a joke that they performed? I think, is what it was. And he thought this was a skit that people would like. And even, just listen down here. You can subscribe to our of the Month Club, where for $49.99 you get a brand new ahem each month discreetly delivered to your home that was painstakingly extracted at one of England's many monumental bathroom stalls. Like, what? So I guess this was supposed to be funny. It seems like it's a joke, right? All right, here we go. Let's resume from where we were last time.
Thank you for your purchase of one vial of his semen. This is a lot. Do you think I don't know if you use it to season or what, but here goes nothing.
So this is supposed to be a joke.
Can't say I've ever tasted anything like that before. It's almost like when you have Cinnamon Toast Crunch and you have just the cinnamon and milk at the bottom of the bowl.
That was a video titled Sargon of Akkad's Semen Taste Test. Sargon of Akkad is a creator that makes similar videos to Jeremy. He is someone that Jeremy greatly admired. Admired enough to make this strange, sarcastic video because Coach Redpill, a creator in the same space as Jeremy, commented about such a thing.
Coach Redpill asked me, actually stated, really.
By the way, is the volume good, guys? I have to ask because I just want to be sure that you guys can hear it well. And I'm having problems already with the chat is already crashing. Now I'm starting to remember, because I haven't used the DSPReacts channel in a while. I'm starting to remember that the chat constantly crashes when I use the Firefox browser, and I have no idea why. So I have to keep refreshing it. Hopefully, it doesn't keep doing it all night. Okay.
keep sucking on Sargon's dick, boy. V says that Sargon's cum tastes awfully good. So does it?
Jeremy is not one to save face or cut his losses. This exchange was the first domino. It would bring more confrontation, and that confrontation would have Jeremy reveal otherwise private information. On May 21st, 2018, Jeremy and Coach Red Pill confronted each other on a live stream.
I'll go.
So now we're already all the way up to 2018. So it did do like a time skip there. Oh, I assume a couple of years where he was focusing on being the quartering at this point. Okay.
Education.
How many children do you have?
By the way, just interesting. We got Mundane Matt down there. We've got the Ralph retort, that's Ethan Ralph, right? So this is just a space of YouTube. I've been aware that it exists. I have absolutely no involvement with it. I don't want to be in this internet blood sport drama stuff that these guys find themselves embroiled in on a daily basis. To me, it seems like you do this when you don't really have positive content to put out there that will get any kind of attention. So you just constantly quarrel with others, you bicker with others, you slam on others, you get into these culture war arguments, and if someone doesn't agree with you, all of a sudden you call them like your enemy and stuff like that. It seems like it's been around for a long time. I've been out of it. I just cover games. You know what I mean? Yeah, every once in a while I dabble in a React. I'll do a review or something. It wasn't until, recently, in the last few years, that I started doing more podcasting and this kind of stuff, and then started crossing over into this kind of content with other people. I have no desire to be in this realm full-time whatsoever, okay, at all. But it seems like this has been around now for a while, and holy crap, it must work. There's entire people who their entire internet presence is this. If there's a day without drama, they have nothing to do, So here you go.
I'll go wife to wife with you. I'll go bank account to bank account with you.
I don't think you want to go there. Okay, sure.
I will.
How many children?
I will.
How many children?
Wait a minute. What happened? Did it pop up or was it off the screen? I think the pop-up went off the screen here. Hold on one second. Oh yeah, it's screwed up. There we are. Mozzie, thank you for $5. I appreciate that. What I'll do is I'll scoot this over here. I'm going to have to fix this later. I'll scoot that over there. Thank you, Mozzie, for $5. And Mozzie says, hold on. I'm excited for this react. Like it or not, DSP is entertaining, and I'll pay for entertainment, so enjoy this documentary, Phil. Thank you so much, Mozzie, for the support and the kind words. I appreciate that. Okay. All right, hopefully we got all the bugs worked out now. And we can continue on without further interruption. Not to say that I'm upset that you supported me. I'm just saying I wish that the pop-up worked. Okay.
Okay, I've got 4 by 3 different women.
Okay, so you're a shitty dad. Congratulations.
Jeremy and Coach Red Pill also compared their subscriber count. Most importantly, the two compared their estimated net worth.
How many figures?
Net, probably low sevens.
Okay.
At 35.
At 35. Okay, good.
Jeremy claimed to be a millionaire. This would not be the last time he would flaunt his wealth, but it was the first time and perhaps the only time that Jeremy provided information on his net worth. This otherwise worthless information is dangerous when put alongside any would-be desperate plea for financial assistance. For the moment, it would drown under a sea of noise. For the present,
I was going to say, it definitely, if he's the kind of guy who's always like, oh, something went wrong and I need your support, rally behind me, pledge to my Patreon, if he then reveals to the internet that he's a millionaire, that could be a big detriment to his, methodology of how he raises funds, Expand Dong. Thank you for a membership. Good to see you. I remember that you used to be on this channel all the time. It's good to see you back for reacting, and thank you for re-upping your membership here. Thank you. Okay.
It was mid-2018 that Jeremy was hitting a stride in spotlighting social justice warriors, or SJWs, a derisive umbrella term used to describe indignant, unruly adults. Jeremy was able to recenter the frustration pop culture enthusiasts felt in their hobbies, such as comic books, towards these SJWs. While Jeremy failed to move the conversation, if anything made tensions worse, he was successful in growing the quartering, going from 1.5 million views a month to 7 million by August. Then,
Whoa. He went from 1.5 million to 7 million views in 4 months. Oh, wow. And then again to 11 million in November. So this guy, exponential growth the moment that he started getting into the culture wars against SJWs. That's wild growth. I mean, that's insane. Even me, when I was popular, I had growth. I never had that level of exponential growth. That's wild.
To over 10 million views a month, nearing the end of 2018. During this time, Jeremy started the podcast channel The Incredible Salt Mine with 2 other creators. Stories told in these episodes would haunt him far into the future. This specific story only made possible due to a chat member donating $500.
Somebody just fucking donated $500. I have to tell the story about how I shit my pants now.
Oh, you do.
For the record, I just became aware of this. Thank you, guitar player. This is part of the ongoing controversy of the quartering. Apparently yesterday, the quartering deleted this entire podcast series from his channel and erased it from the internet. And then he claimed that, I guess, it was a mistake. It was an error that his editor did. And he didn't mean to tell them to do that. It was a complete mistake, and he wants them to be re-uploaded, but he didn't archive them. So if anyone has them, send them so he can re-upload them. That literally happened 24 hours ago. It was called TISM. And I was like, what is that, like a reference to autism or something? No, it's the Incredible Salt Mine is what it was called. I didn't know that until right now. Now I know what the show actually stood for. So... And apparently his former co-hosts on that show, who we're hearing from right now are really upset with him for doing that. I think one is named Count Dankula and the other is called Bear or something like that, or Bearing or something like that. I guess they're really upset with him because it was the understanding that that was their cooperative work and they were going to leave that up like forever for it to be watched and enjoyed, and they don't have backups of it. So if he deletes it, that's it. It can't ever be watched again. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Guitar player, thank you for $5. I appreciate the $5 super chat. Okay. So, he's going to tell a story, huh?
Once upon a time, I believe I was probably 32, 33, maybe 34.
So hang on, what was that a couple of years ago? How old are you?
Yeah. I'm 36.
Okay, all right.
So
This
yeah,
is
it was
recent.
vivid.
Go on.
The memory is vivid. We're at Walmart. We had just eaten, my wife and I. We had just eaten.
I guess he was under the impression if he said it's going to take a $500 contribution, no one would do $500, then someone did. All right, hold on. Let's think about this. If someone does a $500 contribution right now, what story could I tell you? What story have I never told you that I could tell you that you'd actually like? Let me think about this. Because I've shared so much in the past about my past. Let me see here. By the way, thank you so much to First Name 20, who just gifted a sub to the community over on Kick. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much for the support. Now I just got to figure out what $500 story to offer you guys. I just got a $5 tip. Someone just did a $5 tip and says, "Oh, you're back. Are you alternating between your channels to stream?" I am for now, because this is React content, and I really don't want to do long-form React content on my gaming channel. But all the gaming stays over there, and long-form reacting like this will be here on this channel. So thank you, whoever that was. There was no name attached. Thank you for the anonymous $5. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. Let me think of. I'm going to think of a story, a $500 story for you guys tonight, okay? But let's continue with the documentary first.
And like, you know, when you're gonna have I would say watery shit, you can kind of tell like your stomach kind of gurgles and.
It's called the bubble guts, Jeremy. The bubble guts. What happens is you have a gaseous buildup inside of your intestinal tract, and you know that it's going to force everything out at a rapid pace, and it's not going to be well controlled whatsoever. If you try to hold it in, it causes extreme gastrointestinal pain. The bubble guts. Very common thing that happens if you eat bad food.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna be bad. Well, we're grocery shopping, and it starts to hit me. I'm like, oh, I gotta shit. We're in the front of the store by the vegetables. The bathrooms. are way, way, way in the back or in the front of the store, like on the other side, looking for avocados. And then it's like, oh shit, it's time. And my mind immediately goes in like slow motion where I'm doing the calculation. I realized at this moment that there's a real possibility I might shit my pants because it was just like fucking happening. I start thinking, well, if it happens, I don't want it to be up front by all the checkouts where everybody sees me. So I decide to take the longer route to the back because I know I can kind of duck through.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Did they say this was the story of him shitting his pants at a Walmart? Is that what he said? I think that's what I caught earlier, right? This is a Walmart story. Am I correct? Because if this is him at a Walmart, if he's a millionaire, why does he shop at Walmart? If you're a millionaire, you go to the nice local grocery store that has the higher grade fruits and vegetables and the locally cut meats and everything that's fresher and better. You don't shop at Walmart. You shop at Walmart if you're broke. I'm very confused right now.
Like the clothes.
Why isn't he at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's? Why is he at Walmart?
Clothing and like the automobile section. People aren't going to see me in case.
Oh, my stream is lagging, guys. You're absolutely right. We had a frame drop right there. I'll pause for a second. We'll see if it comes back. It looks like it may be coming back. It looks like it was just a momentary thing. Nope, now it might be dipping again. This happens from time to time. Usually it doesn't last more than like a handful of minutes. I don't think it's a DDoS attack because if it was a DDoS attack, I'd actually lose my internet connection entirely. So I don't think that that's the case. I think if we wait a minute, it will solidify and we'll be able to continue. I hope. Let's see. My apologies. This happens every once in a while, but it's actually a rarity that it does happen. It's not my end. It's the ISP sometimes. I think we might be actually better right now, so we'll continue. If it happens again, let me know if it happens again so I can pause. That way we're not losing part of the react. Okay? Okay, here we go.
The inevitable happens. I hit the shoe section, which you guys haven't been at Walmart, but the shoe section, you're about halfway. You can see the bathrooms. The second I see the bathrooms, I get like shit radar. And I'm like, okay, it's happening now. I'm starting to think, okay, if I have to shit in the store, where is the best place to shit in a Walmart? Because I'm not going to make it. I knew for a fact I wasn't going to make it. So I cut down the shoe aisle because nobody shops for shoes at Walmart. And then
So was this story worth $500, do you think? Was it really worth $500, especially because he's like a millionaire? Was it really worth it for this story to be out there? I'm just saying, it's pretty embarrassing, you know?
I did myself to shitting my pants in a Walmart at this point.
And
I'm thinking,
and $500 split amongst 3 people because it's a 3-person show, right? So I'm sure they're each getting the cut. So he didn't even get the whole 500.
Okay, so my wife's gonna have to find me like some sweatpants or something. I'm going to shit my pants. It's happening. And at that moment, a little came out, started running down my leg.
Yeah.
And I like, oh my God, you know what? I'd rather than like kneel and accept my fate, I'm fucking going for it. So I hit the back wall. I'm on the home stretch. With each step, a little more is coming out. And it's running down my leg now to where it's like at my sock. I'm covered in shit.
Yeah.
And I'm running like clenched butt. And I get into the bathroom.
Were you leaving a trail? Were you
Yeah.
leaving a brand
Yeah, there was a
trail?
little bit. There was a little bit on the ground when I was walking back. Yeah. There are a couple spots. Yeah. And so I get into the bathroom. I open the bathroom door, and thanks to my quick thinking, I'm already taking my pants off because I'm thinking, all right, well, my underwear, it's over. The underwear, those aren't coming home with me. But if I can save my pants, because I'm 6'5", 6'6", and a big dude. I'm not finding pants on the rack at the store. So I'm like, I got to save my pants. So I burst into the bathroom. My pants are already half off. Shit's coming out down my leg. There's a fucking dude at the urinal. And he whips his head around and said, "Dude, I'm shitting myself. Sorry." And there was shit all over the floor.
Why did he need to know that?
Yeah, I was taking my pants off. I thought he should know. That it wasn't like...
Dude, I'm shitting myself. Sorry.
Yeah. And,
Well, I guess Bardicate is enjoying the story. Thanks for 100 kicks, Bardicate. Like, here's the thing. I've told some embarrassing stories about myself over the years, too. But nothing about, like, being in public and stuff like this happening. There's a pretty embarrassing story I told about when I was a teenager. And my friends, I was already drinking, and my friends insisted that I smoke weed while I was already buzzed from drinking. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And they basically peer pressured me into smoking this weed while I was drinking. And somehow it hit me, and I had this really adverse reaction where I was so sick to my stomach, and I was coming out both ends. All right? But the story is like, I'm at a house, you know. I wasn't at Walmart doing this in front of people. And for the record, I just want to address something. Jersey Kid in chat says, $1 million is not special anymore. Certainly not enough to stop working or shopping at Walmart. Working, I will agree with you. Shopping at Walmart is complete nonsense. I have not shopped at Walmart once in my life, except for one time in the early 2010s. Walmart had these Street Fighter joysticks on sale. They were the only place that had them, and I ordered them and picked them up there and just went home and, you know, modded them. That's what I was doing. I've never once, as a normal customer, walked through the front door of Walmart and shopped the store in my entire life. Nor will I. Like, I have absolutely no desire to do that. I know what kind of a company they are. I don't stand for them. I know what goes down at Walmart. Like, I would never shop there ever. I have so many other alternative choices of places that I can go. And by the way, yeah, they're all a little bit more expensive, but they're not bank breaking. To me, someone who absolutely forces themselves to go to Walmart is, you're just trying to stretch your money to the maximum. There is an entire group of people in this country that have to shop at Walmart because they can't afford to shop anywhere else. I'm not faulting those people. I'm saying if you're a millionaire, you don't shop at Walmart. There's a million other alternative places you could be shopping that are better places to shop quality-wise, and just a million reasons why, okay? I would never be at Walmart with my family, period. But that's me. Other people can disagree. That's fine. I would not be at Walmart. So, okay.
It's just over. It's over. I get into the stall. Thank God no one was there. Otherwise, it was just I was going to sit on the trash can. And what's left just exits by no choice of my own. It's the rest of it. Now I'm looking down. My pants are in the middle of the Walmart bathroom with several spots of shit. There's shit all over the floor in the bathroom. And this...
Did the guy just scurry out, or is he...
No, dude, this guy is a fucking hero, okay? He's a cotton-topped black dude. I don't know if he worked there or what the deal was, but he fucking barricaded the door for me. He's like, I got you, dude.
What a fucking hero.
Yeah. He's like, I got you, man. He's like, no one's coming in. So then I begin the long cleaning process of having to take a 6'5", 300-pound man taking a bath in a Walmart sink because I had shit all over me. And at no point, by the way, does my wife turned one way, saw me picking out avocados. 30 minutes later, she gets a text from me. I shit myself. She had no idea. She had fucking no idea where I went. She thought I was like mad and I left. It was like, because, you know, obviously I'm like, look, I got to handle this. When you're covered in your own fecal matter.
She's just following the trail of shit like fucking Hansel and Gretel.
She had no idea where I even went. By the time I get cleaned up, I'm like...
I mean, I wish I would have something to comment here, but I really don't. Like, it's just embarrassing story. I'm sure he really regretted telling this story for $500, which he didn't even keep all of.
Well,
but that's about all I have to say about it.
You know, what's going on. And I had like 30 missed calls, 20, 30 missed calls from her. She had no fucking idea. By the time I get back to my wife, she's fucking pissed because she had to do all the grocery shopping by herself. I'm like, but I shit myself. And she's like, well, you're not driving in my car. So she like, because I still had, there was obviously still poop spots on my pants. They were like fine, but there was some splatter.
Though the streamed podcast where Jeremy told his story only got 30,000 views, retellings of the story would get considerably more viewership. On the topic of viewership, Jeremy began uploading 2 videos a day and began his crusade against celebrity Brie Larson.
Okay, now remember, on the last React, one of the things that we notably, broke out of that is that he seems to hyperfixate on a particular person and, like a bull seeing red, charges forward, attacking that person endlessly, and it causes internet drama, internet stirring up. Some people back him, some people are against him, but it gets him the attention he's seeking, and apparently it makes him the money he's seeking, right? So in this case, I think this is almost him taking what he did in the Magic the Gathering community, okay, and taking it to an exponentially bigger level. Because in Magic the Gathering, a random cosplayer, it's not going to give you that much attention if you talk about a cosplayer, except within the Magic community. But if you go after a mainstream actress who's going to be acting in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right, and you're going to constantly be attacking that one person, that's going to get you some kind of infamy.
Who played Captain Marvel in Captain Marvel, a movie based on the Marvel Comics. Jeremy covered the release of Captain Marvel while commenting on Brie Larson's own controversial comments. In his career, he's made 270 videos on the topic of or mentioning Brie Larson.
All right, I'm going to say this. That does sound kind of excessive and maybe obsessive. However, if I weren't me, I would be like, that's crazy. But I have people who literally make multiple videos about me a day. So in 1 year, they've already probably made somewhere between 600 to 1,000 videos about me in 1 year. And it's more than one person that does that. And I'm nobody. You have to understand that. Like, I'm a small-time creator, right? Little guy. Right now, I have 177 viewers on YouTube. And maybe, how many do I have on Kick right now? 94? Or is that not correct? 94. So I've got like 260, 270 viewers. That's my average stream. And I got these nut jobs who obsess about me. He's doing this to someone who's a real actress and a real celebrity. Therefore, he's probably getting exponentially even more interest and views on this content than anything that, that would be even done about me. In fact, just taking a look at this page here, he's got a video, 22nd of April, 2019, 6.9 million views. The Avengers cast savagely roasts Brie Larson about her lies about doing, so who even cares? He made 7 million views on a video about her. So of course she's going to keep making the videos, right? This guy's probably made hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million, off of talking about this woman.
He made so much money covering her that he dedicated a new shit to her.
There you
Every
go.
night before I go to bed, too. Just a little ritual. Appreciate you. This one right here, too. Appreciate you.
Jeremy covered other evolving stories, such as the exploitation of Stan Lee and the fall of Anita Sarkeesian. Yet neither of these were as lucrative as his coverage of Brie Larson. As with any of his other videos, Jeremy often poorly summarized articles, sometimes missing key information that made the point of his video moot. For example, there is this video uploaded in 2021. The headline partly reads, "On-screen killer Michael Myers is branded homophobic for murdering a gay couple in new film." But horror fans argue it is a sign of equality. This is an article about several tweets.
I would think that this is like ironic satire, but it's not.
Quote, the Twitter user later added, "If it wasn't already clear enough, this tweet was a joke, so please stop attacking me." Unquote. Not only is this in the article Jeremy is reading, it is on screen while he is contradicting it. It does not end there.
I got so many people like outright stating very obviously fake, false information, like so easily researchable, and then stating it so emotionally as fact that it made me think like, these people are actually insane.
As profitable as it was for Jeremy to monetize nonsense outrage and antagonize others on YouTube or Twitter, back in 2018, some posts would have lasting consequences that outweighed any monetary gain or support. On June 30th, 2018, in response to Matt Fantastic alleging someone was being predatory, Jeremy, as he did with Mark Rosewater, claimed, quote, "Someone once told me Matt Fantastic did some horrible things with young boys. He should pay for what he did. Listen and believe me," unquote.
Now, you read the post. Nothing like slandering a man with no evidence at all. Let me try it. So he's outright saying what I'm about to say is fake, but let me try it and see what happens. Uh-oh.
This is the window he punched in after not being able to continue to punch me. Here's some witnesses. Hey, did that guy just ask my name and then start assaulting me?
Yeah, he said, "Hey, are you Jeremy Hambley?" And you said, "Yeah," and he goes, "Fuck you," and reached over and started punching you in the head.
I don't know if you saw the YouTube footage, but just got here to Gen Con 2018, was hanging out with basically Gen Con royalty.
On August 2nd, 2018, Jeremy was assaulted at a bar near Gen Con, a convention he was attending. Jeremy explains the assailant asked him to verify who he was before striking him repeatedly on the back of his head, then fled before the police could be called. Jeremy also alleges that the bar initially refused to call the police.
Look at this shirt. Fucking ripped my shirt. Wait, hold on. Ripped all the buttons off my shirt. Fucking, my arm is bleeding from, here, let me put it this way. Can you see that? That's just from me trying to pull away from this guy. Like, he probably thinks he's so fucking woke. And he's gonna go tell his buddies how cool he was, right? For attacking somebody when they weren't even looking.
Quote, "I'm keeping a lower profile, but I'm straight chillin' and doing fine. Telling stories about me online is what it is. No charges. I haven't fled the con/state. I'm drinking beers, playing games, and doing business with my friends," unquote. Matt Fantastic, the assailant who was identified the same day of the attack, ended this post with #PunchNazis. On the 4th, Jeremy commented on the widespread coverage of his assault, remarking on the support he was receiving and vowing to pursue legal action. And though he initially wanted to prematurely leave Gen Con in fear of another assault, he made the decision to remain for his previously appropriated time.
So now, here's the question. I don't know about any of this, right? So he's gotten all of this internet prominence and popularity, making this bait, rage bait, drama bait, culture war content, right? It's blowing up. He's getting 11 million views a month on his channel. So he's making big bank, okay? He makes a joke tweet. It's obviously not real. He's saying, he's trying to call out this other guy's hypocrisy. And says, well, here, let me make a tweet now with absolutely no evidence. It's obviously false, but here you go. Here's an accusation towards you. How do you like it? For some reason, this guy takes it seriously and goes and attacks him, okay? I don't think that's justifiable in any way, the attack. The internet is the internet, and it doesn't matter what people say about you on the internet. It's on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like this guy was having concrete consequences that were ruining his life because of a tweet that Jeremy had made. I don't think he should be seeking him out in real life and trying to beat him up like that, okay? And I wonder if that shook Jeremy to the point where he's wondering, ooh, maybe I'm going down the wrong path because even though I'm making tons of money, this could happen. You could have one guy who's unhinged and come after me. And then that could be incredibly dangerous, right? However, knowing what we know about Jeremy or the quartering, is he going to capitalize on this? Is he once again going to say, well, rally the troops, support me because this happened to me? That's the question. I think we're about to find out. I can tell you what I think. Okay. Okay. Let's find out.
Support pouring in, Jeremy on August 9th created a GoFundMe for the purpose of suing Matt Fantastic.
That wasn't 5 seconds. 5 seconds did not pass. again, I'm going to say this. He's supposedly a millionaire. All right? He's supposedly a millionaire. But he shops at Walmart, and he has to have a GoFundMe to be raised to go to court to sue the guy. What do you need to GoFundMe for? I thought you're a millionaire. I'm very confused. Like right now, if I were a millionaire and I actually was rolling in money, okay, I'm good for life because I'm making so much money on YouTube, and I actually felt like someone really wronged me or my family, I would just sue them. I wouldn't wait for the GoFundMe funds to come in to do it. I would just sue them. Just saying. I just go for it. But at the same time, this is exactly the pattern that we have seen with him, right? First, he gets in trouble with the Magic the Gathering. They're not going to fly me to events anymore. Well, fund me on Patreon so I can still afford to go. Oh, look, I'm banned from Magic the Gathering now. I can't participate in events. I can't do anything. Well, pledge to my Patreon to support me anyway. Well, this guy attacked me. Pledge to my GoFundMe.
The fundraiser undershot its goal of $40,000 by $6,000. Still, Jeremy went forward with it. In the midst of filing, Jeremy received an email from the Gen Con company, informing him that he and Matt Fantastic were banned from attending future events, a decision influenced by the possibility of further retaliation at Jeremy at upcoming conventions. The results of the lawsuit, to some, would be similarly disappointing. Rather than reaching judgment, Jeremy and Matt settled. Matt's apology in video form appears to be a condition for this settlement.
Hi, this is Matt Loader. Some of you know me as Matt Fantastic. Just prior to Gen Con 2018, I let my anger get the best of me and physically confronted Jeremy Hambley outside a bar in Indianapolis over statements he made about me previously. I unequivocally take responsibility for my actions that evening, which were wrong, and apologize to Jeremy for my thoughtless conduct.
Matt looked gleeful in his apology, something that was not lost on those reacting to Jeremy's video. Quote, Matt is basically smirking at the beginning of his apology. He clearly doesn't think this is a serious situation even after losing. Since we will never know the terms of the settlement, I suspect from his smugness that he was not made to pay out much of anything, probably not even the cost of Jeremy's lawyers, since Jeremy only said, quote-unquote, remaining funds would be donated.
No, I bet in this case, all Jeremy was looking for was a public apology, and that's it. I bet that's all it was. He didn't want any money from the guy because he knew he probably wasn't going to get any because the guy probably doesn't have any. He just wanted the guy to basically kind of be subjugated to him. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. If the guy attacked him, you know you're not going to get anything from him if you try to sue him in a civil court. So instead, just have the settlement be that he has to make a public apology, right? That's my guess. I could be wrong, but that's my guess. By the way, someone just attempted to tip me $20. However, it says that PayPal froze it and it has it under review. So sadly, whoever it was that just tried to tip me $20, I don't know what happened. I don't know if you worded it weirdly, because sometimes if you word things certain ways, when you do a PayPal tip, they'll freeze their money. I have no idea if it'll be unfrozen or not. But thanks for trying. But sadly, it didn't go through. I don't know what happened there. Okay.
Unquote. This was just the first of Jeremy's fundraising efforts, started in 2018 to reach an unsatisfying conclusion. The second was a fundraiser for Exclusively Games, a video game, tabletop, and arcade game media website campaigning as a space devoid of politics. Quote-unquote, all games, no politics.
Isn't this guy a Culture Wars, focused creator? But now he wants to do all games, no politics? Isn't that the antithesis of the content that he makes? It's a little weird. 5,391 backers, and he got over $159,000. This is the second major campaign now. Remember I asked last time, I said, is this how it works? Hey guys, I'm announcing right now this interesting new campaign. All right, I'm going to go for it. Which is GoFundMe. I'm going to open a GoFundMe. All right, you ready? Creators Against Reacting. Because we all know that reacting to anything on the internet is the absolute worst content possible. I'm staunchly against it, and we need to stop it. So I'm announcing right now during this live React stream, Gamers Against Reacting on GoFundMe. Send me funds right now. Oy, oy, oy. And he raised $159,000 for it. Wow.
Jeremy had experience managing websites across several channels with little overhead. This changed in 2014 when his Patreon asked for $5,000 per month for a full staff of presumably 4 to 5 writers and an application development team. This changed again in late 2018 when Jeremy claimed running a website now cost $30,000 for 3 months. He also stated in the fundraising that he pre-funded the graphic design of the website, the HTML coding of the website, the vBulletin software, and the website's forum. The $10,000 a month was to pay for articles, editors, mods, social media managers, ongoing graphic design, merge creation, and server protection. The funding concluded with $159,443 raised. The website appears to have launched early 2019 to little fanfare. This is quantifiable because the articles have a view counter underneath them. While some would get as high as 8.5 thousand, others would slump to 400 views.
Gee, I can't see a reason why that particular article right here behind me would have gotten any kind of views. I don't know.
A fraction of the viewership Jeremy was receiving on his main channel. Additionally, the website did not seem stringent in its policy to keep politics out. For example, there is this article covering Roblox reversing PewDiePie's ban on the platform. The article cited this image as the explanation for his ban, naming specifically a redirecting of unsafe and inappropriate sites/channels, alongside inappropriate behavior, though this reasoning was dubious as the ban was reversed, and it specifically arose through an erroneous flagging system. The article cites the reasoning for the initial ban as a quote-unquote political decision while failing to expand on how it was politically motivated. Though most of the commenters do not question the writing, this user does. Quote, "Isn't that political? I thought this site should be free of this kind of stuff." Unquote. A different user responds, quote, "Type text here. Ellipses. Not really. An influencer was banned from an online video game. Was it for 2 political reasons? Maybe, but it's still interesting to know. And the writer isn't giving his opinion on the ban either." Unquote. Exclusively Games also had a YouTube.
Okay, at least you know what? I do have to agree with that. The article is not inherently political. The article is reporting on a factual situation that happened as a result of a political decision, but it's not a political article. It's not agreeing or disagreeing. It's just saying this is a fact. All right. At that one, I'll give him that. I think that one was kind of a red herring there, where it looks like they were trying to accuse him of something, and it really wasn't.
Channel where reviews could be found not adhering to the policy of no politics while claiming to be doing such a thing.
The reason it's called Exclusively Games is that its writers do not inject political agendas into their articles, which has become, sadly, as many of you know, all too common in the gaming industry today, especially in games media. So that's what it means. It means no political agendas. It does not mean no opinions about anything.
For the most part, fairly inoffensively done. The game doesn't get political, there's no girl power or anti-male kind of attitude to the game, which originally worried me.
By June 2019, the website was failing. The top articles were only getting hundreds of views. The same could not be said for the quartering. Jeremy could be seen celebrating the growth on his channel in this video posted July 1st.
My sponsors don't care at all about the fact that, about how many subscribers I have. They care. The only reason they reach out to me is because of my average daily views. That is why, even though many of my videos get 100 to 200,000 views, which is awesome, I'm still getting bombarded with offers. I could probably do ads every few days. Hey, dude, I don't have much money, but I'm almost like, oh my God, I just wish I could refund that. I don't want people to stretch themselves to tip me. That's why I work my day job. That's why I'll never quit my day job. It keeps me grounded, and it keeps me in a situation where I don't have to worry about somebody who's just got a few bucks in their bank account.
What is his day job? I still don't know. We've been watching this now for what, hour and a half? I still don't understand. Because some people said it was some marketing thing that he does, but what about, I thought if the quartering channel is getting 11 million views a month, that's not his day job? Like, what exactly is his day job? I'm still confused about all of this. Where's the money coming from? It just doesn't seem clear.
That just makes me feel gross. 6 months ago, the community rose up and worked together to bring to fruition. 6 months ago, the community got together and brought to life exclusivelygames.com.
Quote, Exclusively Games July fundraiser. The website's monthly operating cost for an editor, news desk, and to pay the writers is approximately $10,000. I am seeking to cover 6 months of content. 100% of funding goes into the content. I, Jeremy, have not taken a dime and will continue to draw no revenue for myself. Unquote. This received $53,000, raising the total fund raised for the website to over $200,000. A fundraiser that came during Jeremy's best performing month so far, maintaining 20 million views a month, helped by his upload rate of 2 videos a day. This likely influenced Jeremy's decision to officially leave Unsleep Media, formerly known as MTG headquarters. Jeremy applied himself to the quartering, not only embracing its growth, but also its trouble with demonetization.
You know, it's not like 2/3 of my videos end up getting hit with the yellow check mark only after reviewing. By the way, I have over 1,000 videos. To give you an idea about machine learning, I have over 1,000 videos, and maybe 2 of them were confirmed after manual review that they weren't appropriate for advertisers.
Jeremy's frequent uploads were making it difficult to appeal the videos that were flagged as unsuitable for advertising. There was worse to come. YouTube, in taking more control of its algorithm, was reducing the effectiveness of subscriptions. Previously, being subscribed to a channel meant a notification was sent to the subscriber. This was changed and now required users to select a secondary option, the subscriber bell, to now be notified.
I still don't even understand this at all. Like, I'm subscribed to certain channels. I don't think I've ever clicked the subscriber bell on any channel. So I don't even know if I get all the notifications or not. I don't even... What is that bell? Does that still exist? I want to subscribe to someone. There's a big button that says subscribe. I just click subscribe. I still don't understand how this shit works.
Hey, did you cover this? Did you cover how Riot Games had this lawsuit settlement the other night? Yeah, I did a video 3 freaking days ago, but YouTube doesn't care. YouTube is not only not notifying you, but they're actively hiding the garbage. I don't care. There's some smaller channels out there who think it's funny when people out there are struggling and frustrated, and I get it. I've been there. It's okay. Make your content. But the fact of the matter is, this is exactly why I will never commit to making content full time, because the YouTube system is completely, unequivocally, undeniably broken.
Jeremy was also having problems with YouTube's claim system, a system often abused.
What was this? I don't know when he's complaining about this point right now. I've lost track of the timeline because it jumped around a little bit there.
YouTube is still allowing them to leave claims on YouTubers' videos. This has been going on for years. Years.
What? Is he drunk? He's pretty upset, and normally he doesn't sound like this. He's freaking out, so he's crashing out. I think he's drunk. Maybe not. I don't know. It does seem like he has a history of streaming when inebriated, at least, though, right?
They don't do anything about it. I'm sick of this shit. You have no idea what it's like to put a 2, 3, 4 videos a day and then have some dickhole claim your video and say, well, 10% of people will only fight this claim. I guess we'll just milk money off people who are clearly in fair use. And you know what, Marvel? You're part of this too.
Jeremy was indeed uploading 3 to 4 videos a day. He had, in just a year, gone from uploading daily to twice a day.
Here's the thing. I could tell you from exactly the same perspective he's been in, he's not wrong at all. The YouTube system is totally broken. It's one-sided towards some corporation who mass loads their content into the site, into this tool, this content ID matching tool. It doesn't properly vet the content to see if there's fair use or anything like that. It just claims, and it puts the actual responsibility of clearing up erroneous claims on the person who got claimed rather than on the company that's rich and is claiming the content. It's insanely frustrating, particularly if you're someone who puts out edited content and you put a lot of work into it, and then it just gets immediately claimed, even though you know it's fair use because it's a review or it's commentary or it's criticism, and you're not even using the entire work in what you're doing, yet your entire video gets claimed as if that company that you were just reacting to for a second owns all of your work you did for the day. It is insanely frustrating, okay? But my question is, who is he complaining to? This is a public stream to his viewers, right? So they didn't make the YouTube system, okay? They're not responsible for how bad the system is. Maybe every once in a while telling them, just so you know, this system sucks, you know, it can hurt. But it sounds like he's really upset. And he's screaming at his audience for this. And if he's making 20 million views a month on YouTube, arguably, even if a third of his content is getting erroneously claimed and therefore he loses that revenue, he's still doing well. Maybe he's not doing as well as he should be doing, and he has a right to be frustrated, but I don't know why he's yelling at his public audience about it. Like, I've talked about it over the years to my audience, especially at times when, like, things are rough for me financially. I'm like, damn, you know, guys, I'm a small guy, and to have my content claimed like this hurts a lot. But for him, he's a huge dude. And he's getting the same frustration, but he's screaming at him like, you know, it's not make or break for him. The sky isn't falling because his content is getting claimed. So maybe it's just, maybe this is him, you know, again, he's drinking and he's doing a stream where he's inebriated, and now he's venting to the audience that really can't help him, and it makes him look bad, right?
Now double that. Within this sea of uploads, starting 2020, Jeremy began to have some unique opinions.
But he said in an interview with The Independent that he was so bored of talking about the film. Instead, he turned the discussion towards his views on Mr. Weinstein's alleged victims, and that adults who made choices, and why he's tired as a white man for being blamed for everything that's wrong with the world. Perhaps just the ramblings of a man who is too old to care anymore, but nonetheless, there's a lot of truth in what he says. Now, there are how many victims in Harvey's life, and I feel sympathy for them, but Hollywood is full of very ambitious people who are adults, and they make choices. If you read between the lines here, what he's saying is people knew what they were getting into when they serviced the man, and they either, for better or worse, got what they had hoped or didn't. But nonetheless, as adults, they made their own decision, and now they're looking to blame everybody else for that.
So this is 2020, right? And to be honest, I don't know the entire situation with this guy. I guess, will Joon cover it now?
Is a former film producer, one convicted of R-word and sexual assault. Though Jeremy appears to be sympathetic towards Weinstein, he did not extend his sympathy to composer Michael Giacchino, who on February 18, 2020, tweeted about King Kong coming back to theaters. In a reply, a user mentioned King Kong was Hitler's favorite film, to which Giacchino responded, "Fuck Hitler." Jeremy then quote-tweeted this, responding with, "And there we have it. Yikes." While it appears that Jeremy was taking offense to Giacchino's dislike of Adolf Hitler, Jeremy, after swift backlash, stated, quote, "The context is that it's another comics pro with stunning and brave takes like fuck Hitler. But you're not interested in that. That's why you didn't add me. You just wanted to try and smear me as a quote-unquote Nazi. Fucking clowns every time," unquote. Jeremy continued to attempt to correct his messaging. Quote, "The context is obvious in the thread that it's another comics pro arguing with fans and making stunning and brave statements like quote-unquote fuck bad things. You don't care about truth though, just perpetuating lunacy."
I mean, for what we're seeing here, this is a history of him getting on social media and doing these posts that aren't, from an outsider who doesn't have the context to see that tweet, is like, damn, is he like angry that this guy doesn't like Hitler? That's weird. Because, you know, I'd say most people probably don't like Hitler. They probably think that most of the choices he made in life were pretty poor. And he's not someone to look up to or defend if someone doesn't like him. But in context, okay, but there was no context in the tweet, right? So it's very confusing that that's the case, that he's doing this over and over and he keeps getting called out for it, yet he continues to do it, okay? Like, I just don't understand why. And there we have it, folks. This is another example of blah, blah, blah. Instead, he just says, and there you have it, folks. Just give the context. Finish the context, because not everyone is going to have the opportunity to see what you're saying completely in context. So finish the context.
Unquote. Revisiting the original tweet shows that Giacchino was not at all arguing on the topic of comics. Actually, there is no mention of comics anywhere within the tweet exchange. Jeremy's strategy, whatever it may have been, to change how others viewed his intent did not work. Just 2 days after the Hitler tweet was posted, Jeremy on Twitter stated, quote, "Amazing how this fuck Hitler tweet has taken hold with people completely incapable of understanding my point," which was obvious to—
I do want to ask this. Okay, this is an important question. Maybe you guys in chat can answer this for me. Is Jeremy, like, known for getting into this heated stuff on social media, but keeping it out of his videos? Because this is all taking place on X. Well, back then it was still Twitter, right? Because I keep thinking to myself, if you want to be taken in context, make a video about this. Immediately say, this was out of context. Here's what I really meant. This should be what everyone knows. And then tweet the video. The video can't be taken out of context. Do you see? So, because the problem is with these tweets and everything, you can't get your thought out. You get a half thought. People misconstrue the thought. They think there's sarcasm when there's not, or there is sarcasm, but they can't tell. Just make the video to explain yourself, right? Some people are saying, no, he does make these videos. Because this is confusing. Why is it? Well, I wouldn't even respond. If someone was accusing me of doing something heinous right now on X, Phil said this insanely awful thing. The first thing I would do is make the video, post the video, and then put it on X. Now you can't call me out and say I didn't say something because it's right there, black and white. Here's my video, right? So I think that he could have done that, but I don't know what's going on that he claps back like this with all these tweets. And by the way, every time that there's a tweet and then another one after the tweet and another one after the tweet, no one reads the second tweet. You understand that, right? Everyone just sees the first tweet. No one clicks. He put one of two. That has zero effect. No one's going to click and read the second tweet. They're only reading the first one. So that's really bad.
That follows me. Hollywood types saying fuck Hitler for retweets is fucking stupid and cringe. It's about virtue signaling. If this was not what dude was doing, okay. My point still stands. In what world is this known? Now I got morons posting my address to Twitter replies. Wonder where they came from.
So he's seeing massive success, right? He's making tons of money. He's getting great views doing the culture war stuff. He closes down that Magic the Gathering because he doesn't even want to waste time on that anymore. He's trying to do new endeavors like this non-political gaming website, and he wants to keep doing his quartering culture war stuff, right? But where he's faltering is he's falling into these drama traps, these little things of engagement and crap. You know what I mean? He probably would have been better off if he never responded to the whole situation, ignored the whole thing, rather than even addressing it. Because when he addressed it, he gave it merit because he felt like it was valid enough to warrant a response. If you just ignore it, it's going to go away. People are going to get bored of this nonsense and move on to something else. But he keeps engaging with it. And every time he engages with the topic, it gets blown up further. You see? So that's how I think his mistakes were with all this social media stuff. Maybe he's the kind of guy, he should have just stuck right to the videos and not do the social media stuff, which pretty much is what I do now. Like, I don't engage with social media almost ever. I just post my schedule up there. Anything you want to know about me, you want to talk about me, come to my stream. You want to hear what my thoughts are, watch the video. I'm not giving you free shit on social media that then you can spin out of proportion and say I said something I didn't say. Come to my channel. That's how I handle it. But I'm a small-time guy. Maybe he felt like all this engagement farming on social media was beneficial to him. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it was, does it?
To be a complete fucking idiot or liar to say I was quote-unquote defending Hitler. Like, I respect the hustle, but you'd have to be a fucking idiot to think anyone was unironically defending Hitler. I just can't imagine people are this stupid. They have to just be willfully misrepresenting the point, right? Unquote. Below.
Shout out to Dream Spirals, who just gifted a sub over on Kick. Thank you, Dream Spirals, for the support. I appreciate that very much. You know, we're about to the halfway point of the React tonight. So I guess I will take this moment to do my gratuitous plug and break because we're going to keep going for another hour. But I want to say thank you to everyone who's here. We got a decent-sized audience. I'd say probably about the same size as last time, which I'm happy with because I was wondering if we were going to see a significant decline, and we really haven't. So thanks to everyone who's here live chilling and enjoying and supporting. I appreciate you guys. It looks like we got another super chat that just came out. This is, oh, wow. Hold on. We got a bunch of support that just hit. So we've got Flatman B with a $2 super chat, walking by throwing my tip in the hat. Well, thank you so much, Flatman, for the $2. And it looks like we got Guitar Player Just gifted 5 memberships to the community. Thank you, Guitar Player. For 5 memberships. I appreciate that very, very much. And now it looks like we've got First Name 20 just gifted a sub over on Kick as well. I think they're now tied with Stepdad for 2 subs tonight. If they gift another one, they'd actually be the top spot and they'd get on the leaderboard there. Thank you so much, First Name 20, for that. I appreciate that. Awesome stuff, guys. Okay. Thank you for the support. I was gonna say we're at the halfway point. What I'd like to say is if you're enjoying this right now, if you're watching live on YouTube, please give the stream a like. Engagement is key. This channel, DSP Reacts, has no engagement because I haven't used it in ages. So you just liking this stream today helps this a lot to get seen in the YouTube algorithm. If you're watching this video on demand, when it becomes an on-demand video on-demand VOD or whatever they're called, please like it, leave comments. The engagement is critical that this channel can be seen and people can find this content again. If you're here live, you can support the content. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the memberships. Super stickers also now show up and pop up on stream. Thank you for the kicks. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the tips. Thank you everyone who supported tonight so far. We got another hour to go. All right. So let's go. Let's go. Let's keep going. Let's see how far we can get tonight. All right. Ready? Let's continue.
Jeremy linked to a video by D'Angelo Wallace that covers Jeremy's tweet. At the time Jeremy posted it, the video had 82,000 views. Present day, the video sits at nearly 2 million views. With Twitter further examining Jeremy, his views came into question, specifically these 4 recent images. The first one is Jeremy stating that though he considers himself to be pretty progressive, he believes transgender people have an advantage in sports. The second is in support of someone who is labeled a homophobe, going as far as to call them a hero. The third shows that he believes
it's all rage bait culture wars. It's what it's always been. This is what this guy is doing, and he is excelling at it, and that's why he's getting 20 million views a month on his channel.
That some transgender people transition as a trend, and the fourth is an image of 2 men kissing that is captioned with Jeremy stating, quote, "If you want to raise awareness, you have to make people want to throw up in their mouths," unquote. On March 12, 2020, Jeremy announced he deleted all of his tweets. This same day, Jeremy uploaded a video titled, "YouTube is destroying my channel and I have proof."
I just to be honest with you all, I've been very, very stressed over the past week or two. And I've tried to not let on to it, but I can't figure it out, and I need your help. Something is really weird with my YouTube channel. The videos that were supposed to send notifications, YouTube sends 3 notifications in one 24-hour period. The Review Tech USA video got well viewed. That's about my normal. My normal videos get between 100 and 150,000 views. The second video, which should have done really well, 50,000. The third video, which should have done really well, 59,000. I'm done antagonizing people on Twitter. I'm done with it because I just lose. Even though most of these idiots were just coming at me with flat out lies, I got embroiled in it and I gave them what they wanted and I lost course. I'm not
correct. From everything that I've observed, that's exactly what happened. He wasted his time. He gained nothing from it. Well, maybe he's learning. Good. Maybe he's learning from this.
Do that anymore on Twitter, okay? I'm making very real changes.
According to Jeremy's Social Blade, this is the dip he was speaking of. A viewership decrease of 2 million, going from 14 million in February to 12 million in March.
My channel seems to be quarantined in some way that I haven't been able to detect yet, but is supported by all sorts of anecdotal evidence that I'm going to share with you to help share not just my videos, but other people's videos in this space. And I need you to give me feedback because YouTube is slowly killing us. They're slowly pushing out independent creators, which is why I have a BitChute, which is why I have a library account. I'm a founding member on Library, okay? I'm a financial supporter of Library and BitChute because I know this is what's happening, but we still have to fight back. And I'm sorry I don't have the energy, but I'm just frustrated and tired. Please help not just me, but other independent creators continue to exist here on YouTube.
What I will say here is, all right, because everyone who, when they do reacts like this, everyone looks at them too. I'm not immune to this. I'm not above this. I've done it. There's been times when I was doing really well for myself and I saw a decline in YouTube. And I would say to the viewers, I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if it's that you guys aren't getting notifications. I don't know if you guys are not interested in this particular game or whatever. Like, this totally happened to me. I would say this actually happened to me around 2012, 2013. Now, keep in mind, I had only done YouTube full time since like 2011. You know, it was always a hobby until like late 2010, early 2011. And then all of a sudden I noticed between like 2012, 2013, I would do certain game playthroughs and they would just not get any views compared to, like, it used to be a point where anything I did would get views. It didn't matter what game I played. I could be scratching my ass on camera. I'd get like 20,000 views scratching my ass. Okay. Then all of a sudden that kind of went away. And it could simply be stagnation. It could be you're doing the same kind of thing for so long and you're not doing anything fresh or different. People tend to get tired. They move on. If he's been doing this culture war stuff for 2, 3, 4 years straight, people are getting tired of the same shtick. They want something new and fresh, and they tend to move on. It's stagnant now. And what I would do the same thing. I would go to my audience and I would say, man, I'm disappointed because I thought that I was going to continue on this trend of growth, and now it's kind of plateauing. And what does that mean? Because I had aspirations to move, and I had aspirations to do this and do that. And if it means that my income is plateauing now and my views are plateauing, maybe that means that I can't do any of that stuff that I wanted to do. And, you know, I don't know if it's really fair to share that with your audience. Okay? I'm telling you that now, 14 years later after the fact. But I don't know if it's fair to share that and to put that on your audience. Because that's a thing for you to figure out, right? Like, really, in reality, why am I plateauing? Why am I not growing anymore? Why did I go down in views this month? Okay? You should try to figure that out before you put it on your viewing audience and be like, well, it must totally be because YouTube is secretly hiding my channel, or, you know what I mean? I don't think that's the case. In this case, from what I'm seeing, from what he's showing, there is no distinct pattern there. It's just he's putting out the same 2, 3 videos a day. They're getting stagnant. People get bored of it. You know what I mean? And we make completely different kinds of content. With my content, if I play a super popular game, like I just played Resident Evil 9 Requiem a few months ago, sky high views on the playthrough. Why? Because it's a hot game, big game from Capcom. Everyone wants to see me play the hot new game. Then I try to play another new game, and it's a smaller game, and it barely gets any attention whatsoever. Well, them's the break. Sometimes you got to ride with the industry. Maybe the topics he was covering weren't that interesting at the time. And that's why his views were stagnant or declining, right? The weird thing is, like he's saying, his one video did get views. So if you got one video that's getting the better views, maybe focus more on that content that's bringing you the views. I mean, I'm just spitballing here. I'm trying to apply my experience to what he went through. Because I've been there, like, hey, everything was working. This pattern, this work ethic, this schedule, this was working. Everyone liked it. Now all of a sudden it's not working anymore. Well, that does happen on YouTube. I don't necessarily think it's YouTube is hiding anything. Now, by the way, there have been distinct times over the years that YouTube has changed the algorithm. And when they do, they usually don't tell anyone. So overnight, you might have a video that used to be hot and now no one can find it. I've had videos that for years were insanely popular and would bring me in 20, 30, 40, 50,000 views a month, even though they were from years ago. And then all of a sudden overnight, someone finger snapped and those videos now get 0 views. No one can find them in the algorithm. That does happen. But his new content getting a declining active viewer base, it may be that, quite frankly, people are just tired of the same shtick. They want something new. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But I do feel like to do this and come out publicly and talk about it like this, is it the end of the world that he was getting 14 million views and now he's only getting 12? No, he's still doing well for himself. So why are you really talking about it and complaining about it? I don't get it.
to push back against what is an obvious bias for mainstream media by YouTube.
Despite Jeremy's evidence that largely consisted of users not getting notifications for his uploads and petitioning for support on third-party platforms, his channel, per the Social Blade graph, jumped to 20 million views the following month, his best performing month ever. This same month, Jeremy announced on Unsleep Media that he was returning to Magic, apologizing to Wizards of the Coast while also faking their apology to him. In this video in April, Jeremy claimed his return was not a ploy for financial gain. Instead, it was for when he needed to boost his mood.
I view this channel as like a cathartic outlet for me, a place for me to go and just relax and turn off my brain and open some product again.
Jeremy would leave and return to Unsleep Media multiple times in the following years, making it a useful tool to track when he's feeling despondent. His channel, with its improved performance, should not have brought him undue stress. Exclusively Games was a different story. Quote, I really am struggling with keeping Exclusively Games running. The monthly nut is nearly $15,000 and website revenue is trash. It was a website in a time where websites are dying. Do I continue to crowdfund it or admit defeat? Unquote. Exclusively Games had sunk to the point that articles on the site's front page were not only lacking any comments, but also their view counts were so low that they were presumably not displayed. As such, the website closed in mid-2020. Jeremy later claimed that the website exceeded its $200,000 fundraised amount at the beginning of the year.
I paid a severance to my video editors. I paid a severance to all the major writers, which I of course proved since then. A 1 month severance for some of the bigger salaried people. Why did I have to finally pull the plug? Well, I had been paying for everything out of pocket since basically January, which was almost $10,000 to $12,000 a month, depending on which months how many articles we publish in a month.
The figure of $10,000 to $12,000 a month was different than the $15,000 Jeremy tweeted about. With 12 months of operation cost should have amounted to $120,000 to $144,000. On the website QB Farms, verified poster and alleged friend of Jeremy claims that Jeremy was not being too dishonest, that he did pay out severance and Jeremy was mostly hands-off when it came to the website, and it was mismanaged to hell by infamous commentator Ian Miles Chung. Quote, after I left, Ian was eventually fired for failing in his duties and scamming Jeremy. To my knowledge, the site never fully recovered. Things behind the scenes often seem to be messy or disorganized.
One thing that we can say, or at least I can say, maybe you don't say this, is that at least going through this, the one thing that I think Jeremy has going for him is that he keeps trying different ideas, even if they're expensive. And even if they don't work, he does give it a try. He is trying different things. He's not just this one guy who's pig-headed doing one thing forever. But I don't think that many of his ideas have been very good outside of the Culture Wars one. And maybe the Magic one could have worked if there wasn't so much drama around it. But like this idea, I think, was destined to fail from day one. When you're known as a Culture Wars guy, and then you say, well, I'm going to make a site with no politics. But you're known for politics. So why is anyone going to want to go to the site that's no politics? It doesn't seem to make sense. But he is trying different things. And in this case, it seems like he got scammed, is what they're saying. The guy who he was paying to do stuff wasn't doing it right or whatever.
As for how a site with 200 grand failed, well, Jeremy wasted a lot of funds. On the site, mind you. I won't share figures, but the design team got paid exceptionally well, as did IMC, among others. I think Jeremy just got in over his head and trusted the wrong people. I don't have access to all that. All I know is that Ian was paid, I believe, $2,500 to $5,000 or so per month. Unquote. Jeremy, at a later date, revealed that Ian Miles Chung lied to his face in claiming the website needed more support. Jeremy complied, and Ren, an additional quote-unquote employee, was hired. From what Jeremy gathers, Ren was an e-girl who Chung bought an iPhone 4 and was sending money to.
When I confronted him over it, he had a mental breakdown, a bawling breakdown on Skype for stealing not my money, but your money. The people had backed the project. It was $645. He would have gone right on stealing my money, stealing your money, had I not figured it out, okay?
To add to Jeremy's financial strain, he was dropped by sponsor Dollar Shave Club in June. When he did not receive a reply from the company, he assumed it was because of his content. This is something he made a video on, titled "Sponsor Dropped Me for Not Being Woke. Goodbye, Dollar Shave Club." The following day, Jeremy tweeted, quote, "After over a week, Dollar Shave Club replied on why they terminated my partnership after I uploaded a video about it. They claim that it is performance related and shared the data with me. The data supports their claim," unquote. Jeremy was not having a pleasant time on Twitter, to the point that on July 27, 2020, he announced he was leaving altogether.
I'm not a small channel anymore that really needs that video to go viral on Twitter to live. Right now, I'm concerned about being a better husband, better work-life balance, and removing the toxic elements that...
For what I'm to understand, he just deleted his Twitter today, but not really. He deactivated it. So it's May 10th, 2026, and he was still tweeting, and he just deactivated it. So I don't think that this really worked.
...are causing my hair to fall out at an increasingly rapid rate.
On Twitter, there was much celebration. 3 days later, Jeremy made a video doing two things. He showcased these tweets of celebration and was adamant about having multiple gay dads.
2,300 likes. A lot of people hated me on Twitter. Also, I have two dads. I'll have you know I have two dads. One of my dads is black and gay. Also has this dad. I don't know. Maybe he has three dads. Someone makes sense to me. Now, this is one of my dads. All right?
It took 5 days for the quartering to return to Twitter. Apparently not under Jeremy, but under his employee, Maggie. Then
5 days?
3 days after that tweet, Jeremy was back tweeting as the quartering. Quote, "Yeah, I came back to Twitter. Are people not allowed to change their mind? Not very progressive." Unquote. This was tweeted on August 17th, 2020, the same day of one of Jeremy's most well-known live streams, much to his displeasure.
You never know. Maybe I'm going to pee in my trash can down here. I don't know.
What?
My wife went out for pizza without me, and I'm angry about it. So I'm going to win this round, and I'm going to pee. If I don't win this round, I'm going to pee in my own basement.
Jeremy, inebriated, scorned, and suffering from a lack of pizza, sought to take his revenge. The object of his derision would have to be the drain in his basement.
I got to pee so bad. I want to lose so I can pee, but I don't want to lose. I have to pee so bad, though. It's hard to describe how angry my bladder is. You guys don't know. It's going to explode. My bladder's going to blow. Get up! Get up! No!
Oh no.
I've literally never lost that round. I've never lost that round.
Why does he sounds like me? That's totally something I would say. Either I didn't lose, or I've never lost that before.
Lost that round. Oh my god. I just peed in my basement. No, not in the kitty litter. Just in the drain. In the drain.
Though Jeremy deleted the livestream, Channel Virus Sanity uploaded a 5-minute supercut of the event.
Why? I mean, why would you delete the live stream? There's no point. Everyone knows that anything now that's live streamed is immediately stolen and put everywhere on the internet. If you ever have an embarrassing moment, it cannot be deleted. It is there forever. There was no point to deleting it. It's not going to help.
On this video with, "Imagine thinking this is unknown." In the hundreds of comments responding to the quartering, there is only a single comment of support. Between the basement urination and the Twitter debacle, there could be an explanation for why the quartering was acting out in August. It could be this graph, showing his views slumped from 23 million in July to 13 million in August, a period that Jeremy claims his channel was dead.
We went through that whole month back in August where, like, I mean, it was dead. The channel was basically dead and gone for almost 3 weeks. And I think that was a direct result of a dip in my channel's activity and interactions and people liking the videos. And so now I've gone back to being a little more aggressive about that.
This was around the period that Jeremy was uploading 5 to 7 videos a day. As was with the last time he saw a dip in viewership, the following month he saw an increase in views. And the month after that, he saw an increase in mockery. On October 21st, 2020, the H3 podcast released Content Court, The Quartering, a nearly 2-hour-long video covering the quartering's history of blunders.
He is triggered about the redesign. He doesn't like that the new updated version of the character doesn't have big boobs anymore, essentially. And he also mentions that he wasn't a fan of the original, but he's extremely triggered by this new iteration.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
The title is Disgracing She-Ra.
That's right.
Disgracing She-Ra and Strong, Beautiful Heroes. I see he's achieved a almost
spelled heroes
50%
wrong.
dislike ratio on this one, even from his own fans. So
Jeremy has a habit of accidentally owning himself on Twitter. You use the word cuck.
Your Honor, if I may interject and submit to the court, when we were looking at these...
So wait a minute. This happened when? 2020, they're saying? So if this happened way back when in 2020, we're talking almost 6 years ago now. What prompted him to act the way that he just acted recently with Kino Casino and with a lot of other creators who were clipping the Kino Casino stuff and all that? Because they're already talking right now. They seem to be talking about a lot of the stuff that I'm hearing now is in the discussions, right? They're making fun of his content. They're making fun of his work ethic, that he's a fake, that he's a grifter. Now they're getting into personal insults, right? So this is 6 years ago. Did he react the same way that apparently he's been reacting as of recent? And if that's not the case, what prompted the difference in reaction between back then and now? 6 year change, right? I wonder what has happened, because I have no clue. If his metrics have gone up, down, left, right, if he's changed the product he's putting out, I have no idea. Because this is 6 years ago.
I've never laughed so hard in my life. I fell over in my chair.
wife's out flying this morning, so I got up early to play some video games. Married life. My wife just asked why her lotion was down in my office, and she refuses to believe that it was for a bit in spite of video evidence. Yeah, dude.
This video also covered Jeremy's Hitler tweet, him peeing in his basement, his many videos on Brie Larson, and more. Jeremy, furious, responded on the same day of its upload on nearly every platform at his disposal.
He takes basically the same boring old, like, little 10 greatest hits from the far left, you know, the whole yikes, we're gonna take every joke.
Is H3, is he considered far left? Again, I don't know. I'm not in this space. I don't even know. Is he considered left? I didn't even know that, if that's the case.
Extremely out of context. We're going to look at really old videos.
Though Jeremy was displeased at Ethan Klein of H3H3 not providing extensive context, Jeremy himself would not even watch the content court before making this video, and proceeded to be deceptive about its contents.
Really, really low-brow, low-energy stuff. I really wasn't going to respond to it, but, you know, once he starts talking about my wife, like, repeatedly, then I kind of have a problem. I barely even watched, I probably watched a grand total of 15 minutes of this, and it seemed like every little spot I picked, he was talking about my wife. My wife is somebody that remains offline, does not interact with anybody, and no, I don't believe she's fair game, you know, because he can't stop talking about my wife. I think he's probably jealous. I mean, my wife is a beautiful woman. She's, you know, funny and kind, and she hasn't been with Keemstar. It's sad how
so this is the thing, like, this is very similar to what just happened, where he called out the casino and said, listen, you can make fun of me as much as you want. I find actually your content funny, but the fact that you bring up my wife and my family, that's where you cross the line, right? So that's what gets me, like, so what happened? This is 6 years ago. And now the same thing is recurring 6 years later, but the reaction is different. He's angry. He's making a reaction video about it. That's true. But what prompted all the different reactions today, which apparently there is many different ones? The flagging, the again, this is all supposed. I don't think anyone can actually prove any of it, but supposedly him flagging tons of channels, supposedly him getting the Kino Casino Clips channel taken down, saying it's ban evasion, because supposedly he got Andy Worski's YouTube channel retaken down. I mean, it's a lot of things here. I don't know if anyone has definitive proof of any of it, but it's kind of weird that it all happened. I've already talked about this weeks ago on DSP Gaming in that initial video that I made about the topic, right? So it is weird that 6 years later, the same thing has happened. And now the response is different besides just doing a response video.
Ethan Klein has fallen and how he's just basically, he used to produce great content and now he just lazily regurgitates content he read, about other content creators.
Jeremy would make it seem as if Ethan Klein was making disparaging remarks about his wife. The top comment reflects this and celebrates Jeremy's own comment, insinuating that Ethan Klein's wife slept with another creator. In the content court video that Jeremy did not watch, Jeremy's wife is only brought up when Jeremy brings up his wife. From when he urinated in his basement, to his comments about her disbelief that he was not using her lotion to masturbate. On Twitter, Ethan asked Jeremy for a timestamp for where in the content court he insulted his wife. Jeremy instead responded with, quote, "Ethan, I appreciate the free promotion and your concern about my dick size, my sex life, and the lineage of my family. This video is defamatory and desperate. You and I both know if you were anyone else, this would be creator-on-creator harassment and a strike. You've fallen so far." Unquote. Jeremy on the Incredible Salt-Mine channel would admit to not watching this video once more.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. Who the fuck? 2 hours.
It was in this stream that
there's insane amounts of content made about me. I watch none of it. Okay? Being honest with all of you, I watch none of it. I wouldn't even have time to watch it all. There's so much of it. Okay? But I also don't react to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that someone did oh, Phil, did you hear another documentary got made about you today? I don't care. Phil, did you hear there's a Christmas special about you? I don't care. Who cares? Right? Just another thing, another stupid thing. So I just ignore it. If I'm going to react about it, like, I'll watch it to know what was in it before I react, and then I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, just ignore it. If really you feel like you're above it, it's not a big deal. It's just nonsense. It's someone being disingenuous. Just ignore it. Because the truth is, here's the truth. The people who are watching that content aren't your viewer base, right? H3H3 and his viewer base are not the Quartering's viewer base, right? They're not. So in general, people who are making defamatory videos about me, that's also not my viewer base. So who cares? Let them make content for these people. They'll believe whatever they want. You're not going to convince them otherwise. So let them have their nonsensical bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And then ignore it and do your own thing. And that's what I've learned. And listen, it was hard for me to learn that. It was a long time of me making content and trying to find a way to do it right and not get triggered by that crap. And now I just pay no attention to it anymore. But if you're going to react like he did, make a whole video about it, you at least need to know what you're talking about. Watch it or don't. If you don't watch it, then don't react. Just ignore it. That's my advice. And that's what I do now. But this was 6 years ago, actually.
That, despite campaigning on Ethan and talking about his wife, he acknowledges that it was not any way disparaging.
My wife, at many times, not like in a disparaging way, just brings her into the conversation, which I find kind of shitty. He brings her in like in a negative way, in a negative way.
As Ethan also brought up Jeremy's Hitler tweet, he now reframes it as being a joke, though the joke is not entirely clear.
How the fuck are they so stuck on this? It was obviously a fucking joke. And like, they...
this is the thing on Twitter. They said, what did you say again?
I said,
it was really obvious.
Yeah, of course it was. It was like another Hollywood person said Hitler bad. And I was like, ooh, stunning and brave. And like, and then everyone's like, oh, he's pro-Hitler.
Jeremy's co-host would join in on mocking Jeremy.
Dude, don't do me like this. Don't do me like this.
Brie Larson, set to last 24 hours. Oh, good. There's one.
Right, okay. I'm just going to put the little stopwatch on my screen. I'm going to hit go, and then I'll talk for 10 minutes. As soon as that hits that 10-minute marker, is it? Oh, it's 8 now. All right, okay. As soon as that hits 8 minutes, I'm just going to hit stop. Anyway, there's so much that I would want to talk about in regards to Brie Larson. Ding, 8 minutes. But we can get into that another time. Thanks very much, guys. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.
Another clip coming up next. I'll see you in a few minutes.
To add to Jeremy's stress, though he was uploading more.
So even his own friends on his own podcast were making fun of him for the memes, right? Okay, let's see here. Ladies and gentlemen, I received a generous $20 tip from Dis and Dat. Thank you for $20, Dis and Dat. I swear I clicked. I missed. There we go. He says, I'm here. I've heard so much outrageous things about you from detractors. If I ever saw you doing the quartering type content and being fake like him, I would have stopped watching you in 2010. Thanks for providing meaningful content and harassing women for clicks. There you go. Maybe he meant to say, and not harassing women for clicks. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. I'll be honest. When I started, I basically harassed virtual women in the video games, right? Totally did. That was my old style of commentary, was the over-sexualized content and stuff like that. And, I just don't do that stuff anymore. I've completely changed who I am as a creator for the better, I feel. But, yeah. Anyway, thank you for $20. Thank you so much, This and Dat. I also just got a $5 tip from Astronaut. Thank you, Astronaut. An Astronaut says the following. I'm late for reacting due to work, but I love this. Do more of it. Well, as long as people keep showing up, engaging, and supporting it, we'll do more of it. We'll do more of it in 2 nights. It's now, what, Saturday night? We'll do it Tuesday night. We'll continue because it looks like we're poised to be about halfway done with this documentary. We're going to do another half an hour or so tonight. See how it goes. Thank you, everyone. Everyone who's here, thank you. Anyone watching on demand, thank you. To those who've supported tonight, thank you very much. If you like this, please support it. Thank you so much. Engage with the content. Let's keep going.
His viewership was no longer increasing.
Hold on, Vassild just sent a whopping 2,000 kicks over on Kick. Thank you, Vassild, very, very much for 2,000 kicks. That's the most kicks we've had tonight by a mile. Also, Suku has been sending some kicks occasionally over the night outside of the original 500. I just want to shout that out. They just sent another 10. I think there was 50 earlier. Thank you to Suku for that. Thank you so much, Vassild. I appreciate that. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Back to the subject.
Relative to how often he was uploading.
Because you upload like fucking 4 videos a day.
Yeah, 7 to 10 usually every day. Because I usually do like 2 to 3 on Midwestly too. I'm getting fatter and like my heart can't be in great shape. Because I'm spending so much time sitting at my desk and like, but fuck, man, when it's like you get on that fucking heroin drip of, AdSense revenue every single day, it's like, fuck, it's really hard to get off it unless someone forces you off, like you quit cold turkey, like getting demonetized or something,
Though Jeremy sought endless growth, the more traction his videos got, the more opposition he received. Just a day after the content court was uploaded, the Quartering is a Nazi subreddit was created, a small but growing group of Redditors who greatly disliked Jeremy. Conversely, by the end of 2020, the Quartering surpassed 1 million subscribers. Rather than focus entirely on covering articles, Jeremy continued to make videos giving attention to his critics.
I got hammered on a Twitch stream once and peed in the drain in the unfinished part of my basement. Like, I don't even care about that, but these people are obsessed with it. It's hilarious. Like, look, when you have no mortgage on your beautiful home, you can pee in it wherever you want. And the fact that they think this is some kind of own is weird. It's never something I denied.
Jeremy, on The Incredible Solvemind, would admit to urinating in or on several more places.
He calls me one night like,
what is with this show? Why is he talking about all this stuff on this show? He told the Walmart story. Now he's going to tell another story? No, stop. If you can't control yourself on this show, then don't do this show. It must be Because take a look, that feed at the bottom, they must be making endless money on this show. That must be what it is, right? Like the more ridiculous and risque and over the top of the stories they're telling they're making like ridiculous amounts of money. That's the only thing I can think of. Because look at the money rolling in. The whole bottom of the screen is ding, 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 ding. Cash register is ka-chinging, right? That's the only thing I can think of. Why else would you be telling this stuff nonstop? This and that. Did another $5 tip. And he says, yes, I did mean not harassing women for clicks. My sister is actually a feminist. We've watched your Heavy Rain playthrough and laughed our asses off at the club scene. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I really have made an honest, effort to turn myself around and be a different kind of creator in the last 5 to 10 years. And I really do think I am now with the kind of stuff that I do and my commentary changing. So I have no desire to go after anyone, male, female, or anyone on the internet and systematically try to harass them for any good reason. There's no point. Okay? Okay.
Morning, I happen to have people, I'm just fucking obliterated. And it's Mark, so I'm like, I got to answer it. It's the first time he's ever called me. And
Mark,
so I
who?
go out in the garage, and I'm smoking a cigarette while I'm talking to him. He can hear me smoking. He's like, oh, you smoke? I'm like, oh, I felt judged a little bit. And then I had to piss so bad, but there was like music and everything else going on in the house. So I just start pissing in a bucket. Like there's a 5-gallon bucket in my garage. I just start pissing in a bucket, and a dude comes out. My buddy comes out. He's like, what the fuck? You're pissing in the garage? All I hear is like a 10-second silence from Mark. Mark's like, do you need me to call you? Do you want to call me back? I'm like, no, he's just joking. He's just joking. I'm not really pissing in my garage.
Why do you keep pissing in random parts of your fucking house, man?
My wife, like, sometimes, like, I get home late on, like, dart night. It's like, I usually get home at, like, 1 in the morning, and I've been drinking since, like, 5 or 6, and then I take the dogs out when I get home so then I could sleep in a little bit longer. And then, like, oftentimes I'll be standing out there with the dog who's peeing, and then I'm also peeing. And then she, like, got up one night and saw me out there taking a leak next to the dog who was also taking a leak. She's like, gross, why don't you just come inside? I was like, what do you mean? I'm right next to the dog who's pissing in the lawn. What's the difference? Sometimes I'll take my dog out.
How many stories? Wait a minute. There's another story of this. Oh my God. A history of drinking and peeing. Wow. There's a lot of crap on the internet about me. It's the thing is, that's what you see me reacting this way. I'm sure there's people who have heard stuff about Darkside Phil over the years and they react exactly the same way. So, it's none of this is like horrible cancelable stuff. This is the kind of shit that people do laugh at you on the internet for and they'll meme at you for, and it's harmless. Like, he's actively telling the stories. It's not like these were leaked stories behind the scenes that he tried to hide for years. He's actively telling the stories, right? So you would think, this is okay, make fun of him for this. It's fine. He's telling it,
I'd be on a leash, and, like, I got to piss too. So I'm like, I'm going to piss. And then he's like, he's pissing. I'm pissing. And, like, if he gets done first, he's like, what's going on over here?
Okay, how long does this segment go on? Can we go to the next? Do we have to hear more stories about pissing? I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear about piss. Now I think I have to piss. Because he's talking about pissing so much, I think now my body is, I heard the word piss like 87 times in the last 2 minutes. Now you have to pee. Damn it.
Kind of hold him off while I'm pissing so I don't piss on him. I'm like, God damn it. Anyway, yes, I have pissed on my dog too.
Jeremy, facing undue stress, released a video in February because his channel performed poorly the day before.
What? Again?
Every year, seems to be 2 to 3 times a year, there is this algorithmic reset or a shadow banning. It goes by very different names, but if you've been around, you know that this channel has talked about it several times. My channel.
Hold on. I got to do something. Ready? Give me 1 second. I want you to look underneath me. I'm going to turn my camera off for a second. Take a look under me, okay? Minds, Twitch, Parler, Rumble, BitChute, and he's also on YouTube. Are there any ways that he doesn't accept contributions? Like, surely he has a PayPal as well, right? Surely, and a Venmo? Of course, he must. He has to. We already know he has a Kickstarters. He has GoFundMes. We know that he has a Patreon. Maybe he got rid of his Patreon because it's not on there. But we know he had a Patreon at one point. Okay? What else? Does he accept mailed money? If so, does he have like a P.O. box you can mail him envelopes of cash? Does he accept Bitcoin? Does he... What else? Cash App. That's right, Cash App. We can't forget Cash App. There's got to be more. Can you have a carrier pigeon fly funds to this man? Because I may be interested in doing it that way. That might be the way that I've decided. I understand about diversification. I get it. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, especially when you get attacked on the internet for things you say and do. For example, you don't want the one way where you get most of your income to be shut down, and now you have no other way to make money. I get that. But I do think it's a little excessive. Minds, Twitch, Parler, Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Patreon, GoFundMe. I'm seeing a pattern that perhaps there's a focus here. And of course, you don't understand, I also accept contributions. So it is hypocritical for me to be saying this right now. But I would like to point out, I do have a leaderboard, but my entire screen is just the leaderboard and me. Okay? You don't see half my screen is not one of these giant overlays. Pay here. Pay. If you want to do that, please do. I'm not going to complain, but I'm just calling it out. I've also seen this with other podcasters, right? I called this, who was it, Painkiller already many years ago? Their entire it's like 3 tiny little webcams, and their entire screen is like Dollar Shave Club, water pick toothbrush, men's butt wipes on the screen. It's like, dude, is this a podcast or am I on a fucking website for, to buy products and see shilling? Like, what is going on? At some point, I would like to have content be the focus of content. Does that make sense? That, like, you're doing content because you feel like you want to put out a product that someone will enjoy today, and then maybe if they liked the product, then they'll contribute. Not the product is the contributions. Does that make sense? It drives me bonkers, and these people are way more successful than me, so maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe my methodology has been wrong all along, and all I should have been doing is thinking about how do I get money today before I even think about what content I'll put out to do it. Maybe that's what I should have been doing endlessly from day one, because everyone there is doing better than me. The guys from Painkiller already do better than me. Jeremy does better than me. So maybe I'm the fool here, or maybe not. Let's continue.
Being affected very negatively by this most recent one, cutting views by as much as 50%. Now, a lot of people might say, "Oh, people just are getting sick of your stuff," or I didn't.
Yeah, I already said that.
No, I have a big enough subscriber base.
No,
that to lose 50% of your video or views in a day is way bigger than just a few boring topics. And I put out a tweet about it this morning, and more than a dozen other creators.
I will say this. I feel like now that we're halfway into the documentary, we're just about at the halfway point, I do feel like he got way too comfortable making content either really tired or really inebriated or both. I don't think he's really inebriated right here, but he sounds tired. And when you're really exhausted, you're not going to make as good content, and you're going to tend to sound more whiny and more agitated. I know, because I've been there. If I'm here and I'm already tired or I'm in a bad mood and I'm going to make content, then the content's not going to be as good. And it's going to maybe come across not in a way where I'm going to conduct myself intelligently or express an idea as intelligently, because I'm kind of or I'm annoyed at something, right? And it seems like the further in we're getting into this documentary, we're realizing he just was very comfortable with doing that. But that's not, like, this video. What is the point of this video that we're watching right now? I don't get it. What is the point of the video he's making? Is this going to help him in any way, what he's doing right now? I don't think so. I mean, if you know that there's always an algorithmic reset at the beginning of every year, and YouTube's algorithm screws you, then do something at the beginning of every year to surge more interest, right? Do a new project or an event or something special so that you can get yourself back into the algorithm when you're getting kicked out. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Don't just make a video bitching about it. I'm upset that this happened. Try to do something for the business that will propel you back into the limelight so you'll get more attention for yourself. He's good at doing that. I mean, he's good at the culture war stuff and getting that rage bait content. But I just don't, like, what is the point about crying about the algorithm over and over? I don't think it's really going to fix things, you know?
Out to me, confirming the exact same problems. It is super stressful. When this stuff happens, I pace around my house wondering about how to change my financial decisions, etc. And my employees wonder, and they see this type of thing. Mental stress that YouTubing, and look, yes, I know being a coal miner is more difficult. Being over-the-road truck driver is difficult too. I understand, okay? I'm not complaining about, I'm not saying YouTube is the most difficult job ever. But what I am saying is the mental toll that YouTube places on content creators like myself and others with lack of communication and transparency is unlike almost any other job.
As with the many other...
Again, I'm going to say this, he's not wrong. The things he's saying are correct. YouTube is awful, absolutely awful at any kind of transparency when they make changes to the site, when they make changes to the business, the algorithm, and it hurts creators who genuinely are working their butts off because they change everything, and what worked for you yesterday won't work for you today. He is not wrong, but I don't know who he's talking to because his audience doesn't make the YouTube algorithm. YouTube does. So if you can't control that, you can't speak to YouTube and get them to listen, venting to your public viewership probably won't work or help. And instead, you should maybe talk to your colleagues who are seeing similar problems and work together to try to do some kind of a collective solution, or perhaps, again, something to drive an increase in interest with your content during these time periods when you're seeing the downturns. But just bitching to your audience, I don't see how that's going to help anything.
Jeremy released a video on his channel's viewership. Social Blade shows no viewership variation for the month of February 2021, and despite it being the shortest month of the year, February outperformed the previous 6 individual months, though it is also possible that Jeremy's videos were getting demonetized at a higher rate, or his earnings were simply just not satisfactory. Come March, Jeremy used a tried and tested method of inducing financial support. It begins with Zombie Kills, a controversial Twitch streamer that Jeremy made multiple videos covering. She was allegedly being harassed, and Jeremy was being blamed for it. This Twitter user claimed that she was swatted, naming and blaming Jeremy for the event, and asking for his sponsors to abandon him, all while failing to provide evidence he did such a thing. Various creators came out in support of Jeremy while denouncing the Twitter user. Jeremy covered this situation on his channel, and the Twitter user deleted her tweet. Jeremy then released a video recapping the situation, emphasizing that he needed financial support during this time.
For myself and my staff. A lot of people forget, you know, just for this YouTube channel, there's 4 full-time employees.
Jeremy would transition this into promoting his Subscribe Star, a Patreon alternative.
But we are now 47% of the way to essentially securing all of their jobs.
Another way to contribute. It's a Patreon alternative, Subscribe Star, another one. Another one. Another one. Here we go. So wave your hands. Okay.
Regardless of if these fools get my sponsors removed or something bad like that.
Jeremy also makes it clear that this was financial support for his business. Fundraising for litigation against anyone slandering him would be a separate fund if he decided to go that route. This is a screenshot of Jeremy's Subscribe Star from February 24th, 2021. There are 3 goals on the right-hand side.
I'm so exhausted looking at these kind of screens. Like, okay, I admit, again, I had a Patreon. All right? I did. For a long time, I had a Patreon that was a big focus. I stopped it being a focus. It's like a legacy thing now. I have like 20 people a month who give anything to my Patreon at this point, and it's like a few bucks each. But just because they're people who loved me for so long, they contribute. I don't, I do nothing on Patreon anymore. Okay, When you contribute to me, I directly shout you out on my streams. I tell you, hey, let's buy games, let's do things. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine my entirety of my existence on the internet is having these kind of goals, and if we hit this amount of funding, we're going to do this, and when we hit this amount of funding, we're going to do this, and then we're going to start this website, we're going to do this project, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. What? It's too exhausting. It's too much. You're asking and asking and asking and asking and asking. And it's always something else. Does it ever end? What are you talking about? How dare you say to look in the mirror? What mirror? I don't have one. Hold on. My phone is kind of reflective. Hold on. Scared me. How dare you make me look at myself? Again, I get it. Again, there's parallels, right? But it would be hard to make a documentary about me like this. There was one. There was a 4-hour documentary. Was it like this one? Was it literally, and then Phil asked again, and then Phil asked again, and there was another project, and there was another thing, and there was another thing, and there was another thing. No, it was like Phil was an asshole in the Street Fighter community, and Phil had his accident, and, you know, and this, it was dumb shit. It wasn't anything like this. Is just like endless fundraising. And it's just, I'll be honest with you, there's some things that I'm laughing at and I'm enjoying. And I am liking that I'm understanding the history of this man to know what's going on right now. But I'm actually starting to get exhausted. Is the rest of the documentary like this? It's just, so here was the next thing he did to raise money. Here was the next thing he did to raise money. And then there was money, and there was money, and money. I'm tired of it. I'm hoping something else happens. Because it's either money or complaining about money at this point. Okay, let's continue.
Part of his staff members are funding the courting website. While there is a percentage attached to them, there is no clear number attached to the goals. It is not possible to quantify how much Jeremy was earning, but it is possible to quantify support if only through how many likes and comments his post received. This post, published February 22nd, 2021, has 16 likes and 5 comments. On March 5th, after making the video requesting support, the same post has significantly more interactions, up now to 68 comments and 161 likes. Optimally, Jeremy's goals could also be tracked by how much the percentage of the goals has increased, but this is not possible because he removed or edited the old goals, the new ones highlighting protecting himself from the cancel culture mob. Jeremy's finances would be a topic of a podcast he attended later in the month, spurred on by conversation of his wife's planes.
She had went to it. She's selling her existing plane. We don't have like Tim Pool money, so we have to sell the plane she has now before she can get something else.
Wait, she has a plane?
Yeah,
though
she has a Zenith 750. It's
I mean,
like a
that's
Bush plane. Yeah,
that's a if you got a plane, that's
it's all right.
Yeah.
It's not a jet.
I don't have Tim Pool
It's
money,
not a jet.
but we're deciding which plane to buy after we sell the current plane we've got.
Every time I say that, I'm like, yeah, please keep super chatting me. But
Normally, financial growth or growth in subscribers is enough to sate Jeremy, enough to keep him motivated to grow. But something was different this time. The wealth he was incurring, the support he was receiving, was diminishing in its effect as he began taking more time off and was forced to face his life outside of work. Jeremy did not like what little purpose he found. He explores these feelings in a video uploaded in April titled, "I've Been Kind of Depressed."
Getting older, thinking about like, man, I don't have any kids, and all these things that pop in your head. I guess it's like a midlife crisis, so to speak, but not like a crisis. I didn't go out and buy a Harley or anything like that. But like, I've also been freaking grinding on YouTube for basically the last 3 years. Daily videos on 1 or 2 channels. Multiple daily videos. This is really what kind of was like an epiphany for me. A bunch of people backed me on Subscribestar, which is like a free speech alternative to Patreon. Reality is, because people chose to back me there, I could afford to maybe not do 5 videos a day, 5 days a week. And that kind of started me thinking about like, okay, like, maybe you don't have to work so much. So in terms of like mental health,
I mean, you don't have to work so much, but then you can't have a jet. You understand? Like, I work full-time 5 to 6 days a week right now. There was a time when I actually had to work 6.5 days a week just to keep things going. I had no time off. And that was many years where I had to work that hard just to keep stuff going. Now I'm doing good enough that I can work probably, 5 to 6 days a week. Sometimes I can have an extra day off a week to spend time with my wife, which is very nice. And again, thank you all. I appreciate you all for allowing me to have that. Okay? But he's complaining about how much he's working, but also he has a jet. Like, well, then stop spending so much. Stop living this lifestyle of this insane amount of money that you need to keep going. Because it sounds like he just got stuck into this cycle of always, what's the next grift? What's the next project? What's the next thing to put money into? And yes, this has allowed him this life of affluence behind the scenes, but at the very same time, it's completely grinded the man down to dust. And now he's falling apart at the seams. He's always drinking too much, or he's overly tired. It could be a combination of the two. And that's driving him into problems on Twitter and social media. That's now affecting his work. And so when he even sees a tiny decline in views, he flips out at it because, man, that means now I might have to work even harder or whatever. I think he built himself a prison. Like, he actually walled himself in with bricks. You know what I'm saying? And all he had to do was say, I have to just basically accept the fact that I don't need to do as much work, but I also don't need to have as much. Does that make sense? Like, he downscales. I don't need to have 3 businesses that I'm running at a time that each have employees. I could just have 1. I don't need 3. That's okay. Close this one, close that one. Just have the one. Just have the few employees. Just focus on that. Make that the best it can be. It's pretty crazy. Because he's killing himself. Like, who is killing him? He says it's the algorithm, and he says it's these people attacking him. But the people attacking him are actually what's driving his growth, because that's what gets people to rally around him and behind him. He says it's the YouTube algorithm, but every time the algorithm affects him, he asks for more money and he gets it. So the only thing that's really killing him is him. He's killing himself with the way that he's overworking himself, and he's constantly looking for the next rift.
You know, I have this thing that is not unique, where I feel alone all the time, even though I'm not. It makes it really, really difficult to relate to anybody. I wouldn't say that I have any close friends. Like, they may think we're close, but like, I don't view them in that way. And I don't mean to be mean. I'm also a workaholic, so it makes it difficult to, garner friendships or even relationships. I mean, in my whole life, it's certainly affected my marriage, of course. If I have a great day, let's say I upload 4 or 5 videos that I'll get at least 100,000 views each, and they're all monetized, that is a massive dopamine hit. That's big money. I go a day and a bunch of my videos get demonetized. It's like the exact opposite. You feel like you lost out. I feel incapable of taking a day off.
This was a video of lucidity.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Boom. He's done it. He's hit it on the head, and it's exactly what I just said. Dead on. He built himself his own prison, and now what do you do to get out of it? I mean, at this point, when he has this moment of lucidity, he should say, this is where we need to change. Enough with the constant projects, grifting, businesses opening. Instead of that, let's have a moment of clarity. Let's see what's really going on. Here's my real question for him. At this point in his life, this is what, 2022? Does he actually like what he does for a living? Any of his projects? Does he like his videos on the quartering? Does he like trying to do these side projects? Or is this just, he's been this endless grinder, but doesn't like anything he's doing at all? Because I will say this, tons of the criticism that I can apply to Jeremy can definitely be applied to me, which is why, remember the first video that I put out from last week, I called it a grifter comments on a grifter, right? Because I've been there. I've been in that position that he was in, and I know what it's like, okay? But the difference here, at the end of the day, Well, I'll say there's two key differences from what I can observe between him and me. And difference number one is that I actually like my job. Like every day that I'm sitting here and I'm chilling with all of you and we're having a good time and we're doing any kind of content, whether it's chilling and podcasting or having a conversation or playing a game, whether it's a chill, relaxing game like we did earlier today with Pokemon, that was super fun. Or we play a more challenging game like Soros, where it's kicking my butt. Or, competitive Street Fighter Online, I'm raging. Or something more relaxing. No matter what it is we're doing, I genuinely like doing it. I want you to understand that. That's why I do it. I never would put as much time and effort into what I do if I didn't like it. That's the kind of guy I am. I would never go crazy, balls to the wall for something I don't have passion for. Okay? That's difference number one, because for what I'm seeing, the fact that this guy has gone in so many different directions, and the only one that's really stuck was the quartering, but now he says, I got to put out 5 videos a day. The algorithm is killing me. This is killing me. I don't think he enjoys the videos. In fact, I would almost go as far to say maybe the videos are just disingenuous because he knows it's just content to print money for him. Maybe he actually never gave 2 flying shits about Brie Larson. But all he knew is that if he made another video about Brie Larson today, it would get the 100,000 views he's looking for and it would pay the bills. Okay? But for me, it's like, no, I like what I do. I genuinely enjoy being here every day with all of you. I want you to understand that. That's number one. And number two, the other thing that he's saying, so a day when he comes to his job and he makes his 5 videos and they get good views and they hit the algorithm, he gets a dopamine hit. On a day when he comes to the job and he makes the 5 videos and they don't hit the algorithm, he doesn't have the dopamine hit. Okay, but that's your work life. What's going on behind the scenes of your work life? What I'm hearing is that this man has absolutely no work-life balance whatsoever. He is a 100% grind away, pump out the content, and that dictates his life. He didn't actually draw the line and say, all right, success to some extent, but there has to be a limit to my success, where I'm going to say outside of this amount that I'm going to work, there's going to be this amount that I'm going to spend with my wife and or friends or family, and this is going to be my private life. And this is something I can 100% attest to because I've been there, and I was very, very guilty of this. I didn't have a work-life balance, and I was miserable. Miserable. Because it was about work, 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 video, 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 game, 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 stream, stream, stream. Now, I've drawn that line. I have time with my wife every single day. We have at least 1 full day off, if not more. I like to have more. And there are weeks when I have 2 days off and I have a whole day with her. I don't do any work at all. And then there's some days I still got to do some errands, but I still get to spend time with her. And every normal day, I'm still spending time with her outside of the work. And I said that has to happen. That's something that it's non-negotiable because my life cannot be dictated by the online presence that I have. You understand? And the funny part is there's people right now on the kick side of things watching this right now, and they're saying things, where's your wife, Phil? She's right now. She's either across the hallway relaxing or she's downstairs relaxing, waiting for me to finish so we can go spend some time together tonight before I go to sleep. And that's my life every day. She's there in the morning when I wake up, except the days when she's at work. But she's there in the morning and we spend time together then. She makes the meals and we spend time there. We have a lot of good time together. We love it. That's really what I look forward to. On my days off, I love spending time with her and doing stuff, right? Really. And now that I'm in a better financial position, we're looking to do other things with our time that we want to do. We're improving the house together. We're making these kind of important decisions. We want to go places and do things together because we can do it now. We literally couldn't have done it until the last positive changes we've seen in the last 2 years. Understand that. Like we wanted to, we couldn't. Now we actually can. Okay? And that's called work-life balance. Like, yes, I'm here a lot, but I also have a life outside of here that you don't need to know about at all. And it's a good one. It's a good life. And I love that life. And I can't wait for more of that life moving forward. I can't. Watching this video, it seems to me like at least 2022, which is where we are in the timeline, this man has completely lost the script. You're supposed to grind so that you have an end goal to grind for. Like you grind so you can be affluent enough that now you can basically sell off all of these businesses, and you don't have to work anymore, right? Because the truth is, if you don't like what you do, that's what you want to do. Sell off the businesses. You have enough money, live, nicely for the rest of your life. You're done. Or if you're like me and you're not going to blow up, because I know I'm not going to blow up, at least find something you can do that you like. Because if you're going to have to do this for a long time, you better damn well be sure you like what you're doing. And I see neither of those. There's no exit strategy here for this man. And he doesn't like what he's doing. It's a double whammy. So I can grind until one day I decide I'm done grinding, I retire, and I can step away from it, and I'll be the master of my destiny. But this guy has gotten to the point where he doesn't like what he's doing, and it's torturing him that he has to keep doing this content. It's killing him when he sees a downturn, right? That's awful. Awful. Now we're up to what, 2022? Let's see if we can find a logical stopping point here.
In his history already pointed to it, Jeremy works for no other purpose than to grow his channel, to appease his anxiety, to distract himself from himself. He was pushing himself to find purpose outside of work, even if it pained him, to address what he considers an unsatisfying personal life.
I'm just seeing, are we ending anything here? No, it keeps going. Oh, wow. I don't know if we're going to find a stopping point. Well, let's see.
This was too much to bear, because 3 months later, he was already back to uploading over 10 videos a day.
By the way, if you don't know, I have a political channel where I do 3 videos a day, 3 to 4 videos a day. It's called Midwestly. I do 5 to 7 videos a day on the quartering, and I'm happy to do that. But I have a really difficult time relaxing, allowing myself to relax. I was lucky enough to get a PlayStation 4, 5, and an Xbox Series X at launch. Haven't even turned them on still. I've been wanting to get back into Final Fantasy 14. I've been wanting to play New World, but I've never allowed myself to play the games, just play them, because I could always be making content. Now, I've worked on this mentality to try and overcome it, be able to enjoy something. But I'm incapable.
With Jeremy's continued instigation, the latter half of 2022 was full of ridicule. Creator Phil DeFranco, in response to Jeremy calling Megan Fox a walking sex doll, called Jeremy gross in return. The H3 podcast did yet another segment covering Jeremy in October with the highlight video titled, "The Quartering 1 pooped his pants, 2 pees in his basement, 3 has crotch rock." Then again, November.
Yeah, so he was doing a live stream, and this turned up. Hila, what do you think? Reddit forced cream pie.
Well, I didn't even understand what that means.
Yeah, I had to do some investigating.
Jeremy responded to this with 2 tweets. The second one reads, quote, "So weird of the tolerant left thinks this is an own. Real tolerant," unquote. Jeremy was even mocked by his wife for something entirely different.
Well, now, I used to point it out.
Again, he's going to talk about this stuff on this pod. This show better have made this man millions upon millions of dollars. If he again was talking about embarrassing stuff on this show, oh my God.
On TV all the time. There's 10 members of this cast and 6 of them are gay. Curious, I'd say, My wife's a bit of a normie and she's kind of sick of it. she's like, she'll be like, "Oh, is that cringe, Jeremy? Is that cringe?" And I'm like, when you say it, I don't want. That's why I stopped saying cringe. She started saying it.
There was more to come before the end of the year. On Kiwi Forums, a user archived Jeremy's recent rant about his loss of hair and the amount he works. At the end of October, Jeremy released another video claiming he was the target of YouTube's demonetization. Finally, in December, he made a video bringing attention to those mocking him and his IBS. Jeremy then closed the year by announcing his New Year's resolution to find a work-life balance, to not smoke, and to lose weight. While it is possible he did stop smoking, it is certain he failed with the other 2 resolutions. By 2022, it had been 3.
Okay, so that was actually, we were talking about 2021 all along. I thought we were been in 2022, and I was wrong. That was all 2021 that we just covered. Okay, I think this is a good spot to end because we're starting 2022. As you can see, we're about the 1 hour and 50-minute mark. So we actually are more than halfway through the documentary. I would say that tonight went well. I don't know what you guys feel, but, you know, based off of, you know, my criteria of success, I would say we got a good crowd. We had an engaged crowd. We had a supportive crowd. I think that tonight actually was better than last time because tonight we got more into the meat of the quartering and what he does, and it was more interesting than learning about the backstory. Right? I think so. So what we will do is, number one, this will become a video on demand that you can watch after the fact on the channel. It will remain archived. All of you can watch it. Thanks to everyone who is here, who supported in any way. If you're watching this on demand after the fact and you like this, please like it and leave comments. It's very important because this channel has been defunct for a long time, and that engagement will hopefully get some more people to notice it again, because it has been pretty hard to get people to notice anything on this channel if you can do it. Okay, if you can do it, thank you. Thanks to everyone who is here live supporting. Let's reconvene in 2 nights. We'll do it all again this coming Tuesday night, which will be May 12th. All right? It'll be the Quartering React Part 3, which it appears is going to be the years of 2021, 2022, maybe even into 2023. And then, of course, the Kino Casino arc, which is the current arc of how they just constantly start making fun of him and tearing him apart and, you know, getting into the current stuff that's going on. Okay, likely 2 more nights. I don't see how we're going to get through this in 1 more night. That's half the documentary. So probably we'll do it again Tuesday night. And again, if that goes well, we'll finish it on Thursday and I'll give you my final thoughts and all of that. And we'll go from there. Okay? All right? Sound good? All right, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I did. Again, I had a good time. I'm liking the long form reacts when there's a reason to do them. I feel like we need to find these pertinent ones, right? These when you get to one that makes sense to do, they're pretty good. And to be honest, it breaks up the constant gaming because, you know, I like gaming, but it's good to have variety content as well. All right? So thank you guys for chilling with me. Let's take a look here. What are we doing? Oh, let me just minimize this. What are we doing for hosting tonight? Do you guys on Kick want to be sent anywhere particular? Who's streaming right now? Let's take a look here. Mad TV. All right, guys, I'm going to send you over to Mad TV. Have a good night. Remember, tomorrow we're doing the DSP morning show. Soros continuing on the first stream. And finally, Mouse PI for Hire returns on tomorrow night's late stream. I hope to see you then. Have a good night, everyone on Kick. Bye-bye. Okay? All right. And for those of you on YouTube, thank you guys. Again, I hope that you guys enjoyed watching and chilling. Again, if you can engage with this content, it would help a ton. Thank you for the support tonight. And we will do it again this coming Tuesday night. We'll continue on. Okay? All right, everyone. Have a good night. I'll see you all in the morning for the morning show in Soros. Peace out. Bye-bye.